Hey! What?
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
Welcome back to the McDonCast, the funnest podcast in town.
McDonCast, the funnest podcast in town. Only podcast around. Why you started with an A?
What are you talking about?
Ever been?
No, I'm speedrunning the intro. We're speedrunning the whole episode. I'm gonna see if we can get this done in a tight 25.
Well, that's not gonna happen. Even if we did speed run, that would not. Even our shortest episode is not.
Are you saying Health Week we don't like to move double time?
Guys, we're bringing back the OG fans know. OG 2019 fans know that we once ate Subway.
I think it was 2020.
Bringing it back.
We call it Health Week, but I'm guessing that's a sandwich.
Subway is like not. Really,
I'm guessing that's a sandwich with only meat on it too,
well,
right?
Yeah. Well, Subway in general is just not really. Actually, it's arguably worse.
Yeah, it's their bread is like enough sugar
So-
content to be considered candy.
Bread. It's legally considered cake in.
Yeah.
But anyways, welcome back, you guys. I hope y'all are having a fantastic month.
Health Week, and
How long has it been since?
It's been a month.
Like 2 or 3 weeks.
It's been a whole month.
Yeah, a whole month. So we've been busy.
Yeah,
I started
so
a new job.
I started working on Monday
Peter
nights.
started a new job and then got fired and then started a different new job.
Okay, I wasn't gonna vocalize the first part.
But the point is, you started 2 different new jobs in the time since the last episode.
Well, no, I just started working on Monday nights, which is normally when we record.
Yeah.
And so it makes it more difficult. We're recording this on a Sunday night, so I am missing Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers playing the Green Bay Packers, but that's fine.
That's okay, because those games, you know exactly what's happening from.
And I saw all the movies that have come out this month in the theater, and Sam has seen none of them.
I am planning on seeing Chainsaw Man.
That's the one I won't watch.
It's already crossed 100 mil.
I know, it's a big hit.
Why are you just... You've already seen like half of Chainsaw
I saw
Man.
one episode
No,
of
you
Chainsaw
saw like
Man.
3
I
episodes.
saw maybe the first 2, and I don't remember what happened in them.
You would... Well, Chainsaw Man might be a bit much.
No, I don't...
If you haven't watched a lot of anime, you can't go headfirst into Chainsaw Man. That's like... That's just make your brain hurt. But like you gotta be a familiar...
No, I will go see the Springsteen movie that's getting bad reviews. That's what I'll go watch. Yeah, it's not doing great. It's bombing really hard too. We might talk about it later. Anyway, Sam, we're gonna do a bit of a catch-up episode. Gonna go over some things we should have talked about over the last month.
There was lots of news. Well,
Peacemaker wrapped up. We're gonna talk about a couple of news stories. And then I have a fun, because it is the Halloween episode by default, because we're recording this the week of Halloween. I have a Halloween topic.
Okay.
Because I didn't have time to prepare any games this year. And also it's harder to do games if it's just you and me.
Yeah, normally for Halloween, we get a bunch of people together. We didn't really have time for all that.
No.
Maybe next week we can do something.
Well, we'll always get together for the Christmas show. But Halloween, I mean, there's only so many. Okay, here's the thing. I can only do so many film or fakes. There's only so many movies.
Yeah.
So I run out of games relatively quickly.
Well, you should come up with some other games.
No, I am. I'm working on some more for the Christmas episode. But yeah, no, I have a Halloween topic we're going to go over. But first, housekeeping stuff. We're available on all the audio platforms as well as on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. And then also next week, we're going to hopefully get a pod out. Crossing our fingers.
The plan.
I don't know what we're going to talk about. Maybe some TV stuff. Maybe we'll have Sam Goes to the Movies episode, catch-up episode.
Maybe I'll go see. You know what I did watch?
What'd you watch? First Tron?
Tron Legacy.
Okay.
Because I hadn't seen
A movie from 15 years ago?
I have seen the original one, 80s, because when we were kids, wanted to watch Tron.
Right.
And our mom was like, no. Our dad was like, but you know what's less scary? The original Tron from the 80s, which, by the way, definitely more scary. For sure. 100%.
I don't know if it's... I was really thinking it's more boring.
You know what the opening scene of the 80s Tron is?
That scene where they're like chasing around the tank thing?
No, it's a bunch of dudes getting tortured in like a prison.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the games part, isn't
No
it?
one in Tron Legacy gets really tortured. They just kind of instantly die as soon as any
No, they
part of them
turn
is
into
injured.
pixels.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is not a Tron episode.
But after that, I was like, you know what? You know what? Now I got the itch for
Tron Ares?
Tron Uprising.
Did you go back and watch Tron Uprising?
And I went. I'm planning to rewatch the show, but I rewatched the first episode.
Should have just brought.
So peak.
They should have just brought back the Tron
It's
Legacy
peak.
Uprising creative
And
team.
none of the plot points from it will ever be continued ever again.
Well, they weren't
Tron
even
Ares
continued
bombed
in
so hard.
Tron. Oh no, the Tron franchise is that
Yeah,
thing
I
is
know.
over.
Okay, so
At least in movies.
I'm hoping that the movie sparked enough interest in the franchise to get a second season, but
No, that's not gonna happen.
or no, because Disney they need content.
No, here's the thing.
They
Here,
need content for Disney Plus.
I know, but here's what I think they will do. This Tron diatribe, real quick. I saw Tron Ares, not a good movie. Jared Leto, very bad in it.
But I mean, that's what you expect.
Not great. In that movie, they set up a bunch of sequel stuff that will probably never get followed up on now because it's flopping too hard. I think what they should do is because they can't do movies anymore, and the whole reason the Tron franchise has never been successful. The first one was a novelty that was incredibly expensive in the 80s, and it maybe turned a profit down the line. Tron Legacy was like barely profitable. Tron Ares is a bomb. The whole reason they made a third Tron movie was because there's the light cycle ride at Disneyland, and that's very popular. And the entire reason Disney makes movies is to have content feed into their theme parks.
Yeah.
So that is the reason they made a third one. They will never go back and do another movie because there's just no financial justifiable reason to do it. Another movie. But I think what they should do is do a AAA video game, because then that is something the Tron fans would actually play and like. And because of the way Tron works and how people in the video game world aren't supposed to age, if they bring back all the old actors, which they set up to do in the next Tron movie, you would have to explain why they're all old now. You don't have to do that if it's a game. You don't even have to get the actors back. You can just get their likeness and have someone voice it. That's what I would do if I were them, and I would bring back the Tron Legacy writers in some capacity.
I don't trust them to be able to make a video. Name one good AAA video game from like the last that isn't a Nintendo game.
Just in general.
Yeah, like a non-Nintendo developed good AAA game.
The God of War games people enjoy.
God of War. I would say
Ragnarok?
Elden Ring.
Yeah. Do people like Cyberpunk now? They came back around
now,
on that.
but it took a good minute.
Listen, gaming is not in a good space, and that is something we'll talk about later. But I think that just makes more financial sense than
that's just as expensive as developing a movie.
It is,
if not more.
But
so.
I feel like that is an easier way to like excite the fan base, because if you have a bunch of Tron fans, right? They're not enough people to like get a movie going, because you need like $450 million worth of people to make that successful. If you have a small group of Tron fans, but they're all paying $70 for the Tron game plus DLC and online fees and all that, like that is a more justifiable expense to me.
So when I was watching the first episode of Uprising, I was like, it seems impossible that this would get a second season at this point. It's kind of been forgotten and buried.
No, it's been too long. It's been like 10 years or whatever.
But
more than that.
Name a thing that hasn't been rebooted or continued for no reason.
Okay, but they did reboot Tron for no reason. That's what
but I
Ares
mean,
was.
like, every single piece of everything is eventually going to get rebooted and continued at some point for some reason. Like, even X-Men 97, right? Like, that got another season, and that came out 30 years ago.
But that show was a hit show when it was on. Tron Uprising was canceled after like 19 episodes.
Yeah, but it wasn't canceled because it was bad. It was canceled because it just didn't.
No,
like,
it was
find
canceled
its
because
audience.
the toy sales were too low.
Yeah, and that's like not a thing anyone cares about anymore. Like, they don't make shows for toy sales.
I think they could do another show.
I think
I don't know. It would not be Uprising season 2, because how would you even market that?
I'm thinking
you'd have to just do another Tron show and bring characters
CGI
over.
animated show that we really liked that got canceled after like 1 or 2 seasons that was all set up for more, and then they just didn't do it. Green Lantern.
Right.
And even that show, which I would argue is even less notable than Tron Uprising, technically got a follow-up and conclusion to its like main final plot thread.
Sorta. I mean, that's
in a reboot of another show that we liked that was canceled that got another sort of reboot.
Sam is talking about Young Justice.
But
they brought back some
the larger
characters
point
from
is like
that
I
and put them in
think
Young Justice.
especially now that Tron Ares has come out, and I think the fans clearly want a good Tron thing. They just didn't like this movie.
Yeah, but
this movie wasn't good enough
yeah.
to bring new people in. It was just good enough to get the old Tron fans in, but not good enough to excite them. So
well,
it just
I
kind
think
of floundered.
the old Tron fans weren't excited because it was Jared Leto.
Yeah.
And everyone else didn't care because Tron is like a 50-year-old property.
Yeah.
So
But that's the thing. If you're going to do something like this, it has to breathe. It has to be new enough to get people who haven't heard of it into the franchise.
yeah, I think they should just stop. I think they might just need to let this thing go.
Yeah. Grid is such a cool like world though.
Because, okay, Tron Legacy is not even that good of a movie.
No, it's
and that's
fine.
the best thing this
But
franchise
honestly,
produced.
It's not. The vibe of the movie is on point.
It's the look and the sound.
It is.
The story of these movies has always been weak.
There is nothing that comes even remotely close to capturing the vibe that Tron has of the like neo cyberpunk post-futurist neon.
But I think
dystopia.
they just need to retire it. But Sam, let's talk about the news that we missed since we were gone.
Yeah, let me give you guys a brief rundown.
Yes.
Now that we've gone on like 3 other tangents, Netflix
It's gonna be a 9-hour episode.
is doing things, making moves as usual. Star Wars, as usual, making the best decisions.
Look at this.
And we will. What is that?
It's a mutant starburst. Look at that. It's one long package, and there's 2 of them in there. And one
Star Wars,
squished one.
as usual. Only greenlighting and canceling the smartest things to greenlight and cancel. We'll get into that later. The console wars are officially over as decreed by the memorandum published by GameStop on their media pages.
And the New York Times.
And the New York Times, and also the console manufacturers.
Xbox.
Big box office bombs this fall.
I just wanted to talk about all the movies that flopped while we were gone.
Many such cases. Warner Brothers Discovery, as usual, up for sale again. I feel like this is you guys know the deal. You guys know what's up with them. They're always for sale.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone wants to buy them, go for it. They'll always be on sale. Fast and Furious. What's going on?
This is just funny. That's why I want to talk about that.
The Mattel Cinematic Universe, as foreseen by the Barbie people.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens with that. Let's get into it.
So,
The McDonCast.
oh, and then we're also going to talk about our Halloween thing. Is that I want to put together the Halloween movie Mount Rushmore. But we're going to debate about that later. But anyway, Sam, a scripted live-action television series based on the Magic 8-Ball toy line is in the works at Mattel Television. Brad Fulchik and M. Night Shyamalan are going to be the creators, writers, and co-showrunners. Shyamalan's going to direct the show. The goal is, and quote, to reimagine the classic Magic 8-Ball as the centerpiece of a high-concept, character-driven supernatural drama that blends psychological intensity with cultural intrigue. Sam, this is part of a broader play by Mattel Studios, who after Barbie made $1.6 billion, decided that the next big thing is toy movies. So they have, according to their own claims, 45 to 50 different movies and television shows in development based on their own IP.
I think at some point shortly after the release of Barbie, we did go through the entire list of like proposed Mattel property spin-off movies.
I have a list of stuff we know about.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute. But first, how do we feel broadly about toy movies? And how do we feel about M. Night Shyamalan doing the Magic 8-Ball show?
All right, here's the thing. And you guys already know. I'm M. Night Shyamalan's #1 hater.
You are?
I've never been a fan of M. Night Shyamalan. I think he made like 2 pretty good movies.
What? You didn't see Trap.
He then made
You saw Knock at the Cabin.
yeah.
I don't remember you hating that
He
though.
then spent 20 years making a bunch of terrible movies, and then he came back and made 1 decent movie,
He's made a lot of clunkers.
3 more terrible movies, a movie that was just average, and then has proceeded to continue on making terrible movies.
Trap's pretty fun.
So
This is, I believe, his first. No, this is not his first foray into TV.
I think conceptually this is not even a terrible idea.
The Magic 8 Ball show.
I think a horror movie with like you could do it like Final Destination style, where like it predicts your future,
But
and then
like
you try to avoid it, and then you die or whatever.
The 10. You want that to be 10 hours?
I don't think it should be a TV show. I think it should be like maybe an hour and.
I would like
40-minute
to
movie
know what.
max.
I would like to know what cultural intrigue means.
Yeah, I don't know.
That sounds like that's a
no
made.
idea what
They
that's
made
talking
that
about.
up. That's not a
That
thing.
doesn't mean anything.
Psychological intensity, sure. It's gonna be a person sitting in a room with the
And
Magic
I
8
don't-
Ball going, "Oh, I'm gonna die."
I
But
don't
like, what is a
understand how M.
cultural
Night Shyamalan
intrigue?
makes a show. Like, does every episode have its own twist, or is
No,
there one big twist
no.
for the season?
He did a show on Apple called Servant or Savant. I forget.
Clearly, that popped off.
That was
in
like a horror
December.
thing. I never saw it. I didn't hear anyone talk about it. I think it was pretty positively received. I think.
Well, everything on Apple TV is positively received.
Yeah. I don't know how that was, but that ran for a
Speaking
while.
of Apple TV name change.
Another diatribe.
Changed their name.
It's just Apple TV now.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They dropped the plus. It's
Yeah, it's about
not
time.
to be confused with Apple TV, the hardware product that they also make.
But Sam, 45 to 50 different movies and shows. I have a list of what they've announced. Just let me know if any of these pop out to you. Do you think these will happen? Some of them have already been filmed, so they're gonna
Yeah,
come
I know
out.
they've made some substantial work on lots of these.
It's also
We've-
interesting.
We've touched on these
Yeah,
as time has gone on since Barbie.
it's also interesting what studios have attached themselves to the various projects, because Mattel is not obviously producing and distributing them alone. Barbie was a Warner Brothers collaboration. They haven't said what network is going to do Magic 8 Ball show, but that screams like Paramount Plus to me. I don't know why.
I could see HBO Max picking it up.
You think HBO wants to do the Magic 8 Ball show?
I think if they need like a horror thing,
That's what they got that It show coming out tonight. Excited for
like
It show?
honestly,
You gonna watch that?
I would be more interested in a Magic 8 Ball show than I would be in.
You're not gonna watch It show?
I haven't even seen it.
You haven't?
No, I do not care about Stephen
I thought
King.
everyone saw that. Well, I remember like the 2017 It movie was like a
It was
big
huge.
thing. That
It
was a big deal.
It was a big deal, and I was like, I don't care. You know, okay.
You were the cool kid
One
who
thing-
was not
one thing-
didn't want to play along.
Another person, number one hater, Stephen King's number one hater.
Sam's
right
hates Stephen King, M. Night Shyamalan,
here. Next, additionally, a big hater of
Luca
just
Guadagnino.
Murder Clown. Murder Clown to me is the least interesting potential villain maybe ever. And yes, I know it
It's an alien,
defined Murder Clown.
and it's
He
not
invented Murder
It's
Clown.
not just a clown. It's a space alien.
Yeah, but he's a murder clown.
Most of the time, he's a clown.
And I just still don't care. I can't be bothered to fiddle with Murder Clown.
What, Sam? Do you care about Amazon MGM's Masters of the Universe movie from director Travis Knight that is filmed and is coming out on June 5th of next year?
Maybe.
Will this work? They spent $200 million on it.
I don't know what the vibe is. I don't think
We've seen
don't think
set
it-
photos. It looks like they're embracing the silliness at least a little bit.
I could see that maybe working.
Will
Like-
it work that Jared Leto is playing Skeletor?
You know, maybe if you can't see his face, it will work.
The Kiss of Death for IP-related movies.
But what if you can't see his head? Is he gonna be actually skeleton-y the whole time?
I would think he'd have to.
He has to be,
Skeletor
right?
is never.
His name is Skeletor.
I don't think he's ever like a human form. I think he's only a skeleton.
He's only been the.
Is he gonna do the voice? Yeah.
If he does, you know what?
Or is he just gonna sound like Jared Leto?
That's the thing. That will make or break the movie. Because if he's not doing the silly voice, then they have not fully committed to the goofiness.
Do you think because he's method, do you think he was doing the voice for like 3 months while in production?
Well, what else was he filming when he was? Was he filming Tron at the same time?
I think he would have done Tron before and then gone straight into the Masters of the Universe.
How does he do 2 movies at once?
When he's on one set, he's in character as one guy.
Does he pretend to be one of those guys pretending to be another guy?
No, I don't think
he stays in character even when he's like at home.
I don't think he
himself.
could. Yeah, I don't think he could do 2 at once. I think he'd have to do them one at a time.
Either that, or he would have to role play the character from one of his movies, playing the.
Maybe that's why he's so bad in Tron Ares. That was Jared Leto as Skeletor as Ares.
Skeletor playing.
Yeah.
Ares.
Apple Studios has a Matchbox movie from director Sam Hargrave, who did the Extraction movies for Netflix. John Cena is starring in it. It's coming out in fall of next year. TBD on whether that's on Apple directly or in theaters. I feel like that is something they would try to do in theaters.
That's just slop.
That is slop, but
I
think that will get a theatrical release.
Maybe.
Because it's Apple, it's IP, and what was the one movie they put in theaters that made money?
F1.
It was the car one.
But this is like, what is the identity of Matchbox cars? They're just knockoff Hot Wheels.
No, well, the difference is that Hot Wheels, they're all like cartoon cars.
Some of them are
but
real
Matchbox were all just real cars.
But some of the Hot Wheels are also real.
Yeah, but in Hot Wheels, because there's also a Hot Wheels movie.
Yeah.
My guess is the Hot Wheels movie would all be the cartoon cars.
Well, okay. The
Matchbox is the regular
cars. Is going
cars.
to be a worse version of Fast and Furious.
Right.
And the Hot Wheels movie,
which John Cena is also in.
Yeah, and the Hot Wheels movie is going to be probably an equally as good version of the Speed Racer movie. To me, they occupy the same brain
I agree.
Space.
Yeah. Yeah, but that will flop, but I mean, whatever.
Oh no.
A Thomas and Friends movie from director Mark Forrester of Quantum of Solace fame.
Again, I don't know what that. You could go in like a couple different directions there, and I don't know if any of them are really good.
Kids movie where Thomas is there. He does train stuff.
But is that like is this animated? Is this?
I would think that would be animated.
Live action?
I think it would be animated. But they might try to do it in live action.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if either of those options are good.
You do real people cartoon trains.
Because like the animated kids movies that do good in theaters are the ones that are like still good enough that the parent.
Right.
I don't see Thomas having the parents want to stay.
You do have a parent nostalgia factor where they did play with Thomas as kids.
Yeah, I played with Thomas as kids. I have no drive.
You wouldn't see this just out of like morbid curiosity.
No, because there's already like 50 million other.
What
Thomas
if?
movies
Hold
I
on.
could go
Okay,
watch.
hold on. What about this though? What about if it's like a Minecraft movie situation where when all the kids were yelling "chicken jockey," all the kids are yelling "Percy the train"?
But the kids who are yelling "chicken jockey" are like kids who are still playing Minecraft and actively involved in the humor of that.
Do they still even make Thomas toys?
They do.
Or did they stop?
They do. They're no longer
guessing they're all plastic now.
Yeah, they're no longer made of 100% real wood or whatever their original had like a marketing. But I don't see that. I don't see that making you would bother to be. I could see that maybe working on streaming.
That's like this will be like a Peacock original.
Honestly, I feel like that would do really well on Apple TV.
That's true. Yeah, they really don't have any kids stuff on Apple.
And they do have like Sesame Street.
They've invested in the Peanuts stuff, but that's really it.
They have Peanuts and Sesame Street.
Fraggle Rock.
Very, very young kids. And I feel like Thomas would work with that.
Yeah, with that demo. A24 has a Barney the Friendly Purple Dinosaur movie in the works. Ayo Edebiri is writing. Daniel Kaluuya is producing.
I see, like, what does that mean?
What is that? Yeah, okay, but that to me, though, it's A24 and it's Ayo Edebiri is writing it. So there's clearly an idea here. I don't know if it's a commercial idea, but there is one.
But, okay, even if the idea is fantastic, even if it's a genius idea, how is this anything?
Because what if it's like Barney but weird? What if it's Barney but weird and maybe for adults?
Then you're going to end up with parents who are mad because they took their kids to see Barney and it was scary.
Correct.
Or you're going to have like adults who are like interested in horror but don't go see it because they see it and they go, Barney's in it. Like, how is this not...
unless this is...
How is this not Blood and Honey? Like, how does that not end up just
being
being
because it could be like a PG-rated Barney movie that is also like a weird meditation on.
Where it's the Barbie movie with Barney.
Yeah, kind of, but it's more like kids' relationship with media, like that kind of, like you play into that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what this is, but you could do that where it's like kids can watch it, but there's also like a weird psychological
like, to me,
kind of
this would
undertone.
be like greenlighting a Teletubbies movie. Like, what does that even mean?
I don't know.
What does that entail? What
But
are you talking about?
Barney, you could also do on the cheap, because it's just a guy in a blue purple dinosaur outfit.
But like, what? It depends on what you do. Because like, if it is a higher concept A24 commentary on something or other, can it just be a guy in a purple suit?
But doesn't Barney just live in the real world? He's just a dinosaur and he walks around.
No, he lives in like a extra liminal dimension between. He's like Kermit the Frog.
Kermit's real.
No, but they live in like a subliminal zone between reality and fiction. Like
then that's cheap.
He lives there.
You just need a guy in a dinosaur outfit.
But also he does have like some hyper realism like to it. Like the sun is like a different.
I don't know. I don't know what this is.
Yeah. Where does he live does he live in a cave or like a tree
I
house?
have not seen Barney since I was 2.
He lives in something.
Probably a cave.
Is it a hobbit hole?
It's probably a hobbit hole.
I feel like he lives in
He's
a hobbit hole.
got friends, right? He's got like a bunch of his dinosaur friends.
There's a Triceratops friend, and there's probably others, but I can only think
one
of
them will be voiced by Paul Rudd or something. Paramount has an American Girl movie in the works from the writer of Pet Sematary Bloodlines.
Okay, that probably has the most motion out of.
Well, because that's nothing. This is just a name. You could do anything with that.
Well, okay, so each American Girl doll has like some kind of lore connection to the other dolls, and there is a rather complex web of like characters and relationships between the dolls.
But like nobody knows about that, so you can just do anything. You can make any movie and call it the American Girl movie, as long as the main character's a woman.
They can either adapt loosely the like dynamic between the dolls, whatever that is, knowledgeable in what the dynamic, or you can just do like some kind of coming of age story and call it American. I feel like that will.
Yeah, Amazon MGM is doing an animated Bob the Builder movie.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh yeah, people were mad because
he's Hispanic.
Even though like that seems obvious to me. Roberto.
Whatever. It's the woke mob taking away my favorite IP. Taking away Bob the Builder, my favorite IP.
Which, by the way, is British, and they redubbed the entire show with American English.
Okay, yeah, but when I saw it
no reason.
Okay, but when I saw it when I was 5, he spoke like an American, so that's how it is.
That's what I'm saying. But like, we understand British English,
right?
They didn't need to redub the
We
whole
just
show.
didn't want our kids talking like Brits.
And like, there's other kids shows that are like with British English. Like, why? Like, why? Who made that call?
Because
like,
in this country we speak American.
It's the same way. I'm just confused why they did that.
Because they wanted it to be American. I don't know. So that they wouldn't have to give the British people credit. Don't worry about it.
Like okay, Power Rangers, right? Same thing. But like, I don't understand Japanese.
Well, and the context was completely different.
Yeah, but like Bob the Builder, like if they were just speaking in a British accent, I would know what was happening.
No, you wouldn't. Shut up.
Anyway.
Warner Brothers has a Hot Wheels movie in the works. J.J. Abrams is producing. John M. Chu is directing. This is going to, I believe, be his follow-up project to Wicked. This is the next thing he's going to do.
Okay.
Is the Hot Wheels movie.
I just, like, I feel nothing.
It's going to make $800 million worldwide.
Because, like, again, there's no, like, set direction for that.
No, you can do anything. It just got to have cars in it.
For. Like, I don't, until I know more about it.
Okay, well, but does the name J.J. Abrams excite you?
I think if you tried to pick a single director,
he's just producing.
Out of every single director ever,
he's just producing.
Producer or whatever, guy, Hollywood guy.
Mm-hmm.
To tie to something that would absolutely not alter my opinion about that thing in any way, it would be J.J. Abrams.
Right.
Because he is a non-presence. That's like attaching the ghost of a Henry David Thoreau to your project. It's like, okay, so what did he, like, sit in his cabin?
Consults on
in the woods while you made this? Like, that doesn't mean anything. He didn't do anything.
J.J. Abrams is kind of like a personality black hole. He looks like if you asked ChatGPT to generate a picture of a movie director.
Yeah, like he has no impact.
He's just like a 5'10" white man with glasses and curly hair. Nothing else. And he's like vaguely middle-aged. I don't even know how old he is.
And like people used to give him crap for lens flares, but like he doesn't
That
even
was
really
something.
do that anymore.
That
Like,
was at least something.
even Star Wars had like no lens flares, really. No.
Well,
big
he
ones.
hasn't directed a movie in like 6 years.
Yeah, like he's just. I got no, and I don't hate or love really anything that he does. I like Episode 7. I think it's the best of the new Star Wars movies, like, or aside from Rogue. But like, I just feel nothing towards JJ.
What about John M. Chu, the Wicked / In the Heights director?
Okay. I like him. Good enough. Like
He works, does things, has a job.
Like that gives me hope that like, see, he doesn't make good things. He takes things that exist and adapts them well.
Yeah,
so, like,
things that were already good.
Yeah, so like I don't.
He does
know,
not elevate material.
Hot Wheels is nothing.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if that's good or bad because like that's again the baseline 0 times 2 is still 0. Like I have nothing to go off here.
Paramount has a Major Matt Mason film in the works starring Tom Hanks.
Major what?
Major Matt Mason.
What is that?
I believe that was like Mattel's answer to G.I. Joe.
Does Mattel not own? Who owns G.I. Joe?
I believe Hasbro has G.I. Joe.
Those are different companies.
Yeah.
Okay. That.
Tom
right,
Hanks.
Sure, I guess.
75-year-old Tom Hanks. Universal Pictures has a Monster High movie in the works.
That will do insanely
well.
Okay. If the budget is high enough. Because they have two options they can go here.
Cheap it out.
Disney Zombies direction.
Right, cheap out.
Or Wednesday direction. If they go Wednesday direction, mega.
I think that
big
would
baller
do.
bank
That would
movie.
be a big hit.
If they go Disney Zombies movie, big mega flop direction.
I think what they will probably end up doing is because it's Universal and Universal famously doesn't understand the value of their own IP, they would probably spend Wednesday money on it and then put it out in like July, like the complete wrong release date. Like obvious Halloween movie, but they'll put it out in April and then it'll not do like 80 million opening weekend like they wanted it to, and they'll force it straight to streaming and they'll be like, it was a failure.
It'll do like 30 million and it'll be on Amazon Prime in a week.
Amazon MGM has a Polly Pocket movie, which looks like it's going. Lily Collins is going to star. Jordan Weiss and Dan Breer are writing it, who did the movie Sweethearts on HBO Max last year. And then Reese Witherspoon is producing. It looks like that one's happening.
You know what?
Polly Pocket. She lives in a pocket.
Something, sure.
Amazon. Cashing in.
Any of the guy toys that Mattel has have any kind of story or personality associated with it?
Masters of the Universe.
That's the only one.
Thomas and is that a guy? Is Thomas and Friends a guy toy?
Not really. I mean, it's sort of, I guess.
Major Matt Mason?
But see, like, that's nothing. And like Hot Wheels, that's nothing. Matchbox, that's nothing. None of those have any story to them.
Well, what's the story to Polly Pocket? She lives in a pocket.
Polly. She lives in a pocket. She has friends and they eat cake.
Okay, Hot Wheels always cars and they drive.
That's not a story. There's no relationship.
Well, because boys,
characters there.
Well, because boys, they don't like. They just like get the cars and then they crash them into stuff. They don't do anything. Like, what do you want them to do?
Okay, we took our like toys and made like insanely overly complex lore.
That's true.
Like we craved story where there was none.
But we filled it in with our imaginations. Well, because it's also, I think the toys that are like that for boys are based on other stuff. It's superhero action figures and Star Wars action figures.
Yeah, it seems like the direction of the media is different. Like guy toys, story wise at least, are top down. Like they're from a property that is made into toys.
Yeah.
Whereas girls is like
it's Barbie, it's American Girl, it's Monster High.
Toys that are made into story. That's interesting. I wonder if there's someone in college write a
paper on that. Universal is doing a Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie with Vin Diesel.
Okay, see, like that's a guy toy. But like, what's the story of that?
Vin Diesel.
Red robot punch blue robot?
Okay, hear me out. Vin Diesel is a former like professional boxer.
So Real Steel with Vin Diesel?
I was always gonna do the bit. I was waiting for you to.
Well, I was gonna say, like, how do you make that different?
Yeah. You don't. You just make real steel, but they're blue and red, and they look like the Rock'em Sock'em Robots guys, and you just rip it off.
Alternate pitch. There's a war.
They're in a boxing ring.
Listen, there was a war. Big war.
All right.
Thousands of robot casualties. Hundreds of thousands of churn.
Okay. The robots are fighting in the war.
The robots were fighting in the war.
Are there humans in this universe, or
in
is
the
it
last
world?
battle of the Great Robot War? It ended two brothers on opposite sides.
One
a
red, one blue.
and a blue one, fighting to the death with no weapons. No one knows who the victor was, but the war ended that day. And on that day,
how does the war end if you don't know who won?
Because they were like everyone.
So they both died.
They both acknowledged that like the war was pointless. Decided to do peace, but on this day,
these two robots got in a completely inconsequential
fight.
fight.
The two last fallen soldiers, by having the tournament, and we can Rock'em Sock'em Robot whatever.
Ooh.
They have a fight with two guys to remember those two fallen champions. But tensions are high. The red robots and the blue robots aren't getting along anymore. Some of them are calling for war, and the red robot, he's got a plan. He's gonna kill the blue robot at this and spark a new revolution in robots, because there is also some kind of class dynamic.
It's like Transformers 1.
Yes, but boxing.
Genius.
And also there's a war.
And Vin Diesel's there.
That's a way better. I promise you, that's a way better idea than whatever they had.
That's because the idea they had was, what if we made a Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
They're just gonna do real steel.
They're just gonna make real steel.
I mean, yeah, it's like sort of Transformers, but it's like, there's also something there with the war or something. You figure it out. Do that. That's not that hard.
No, any hack writer can fill in the gaps.
Yeah, like that.
Just have ChatGPT do it.
That shouldn't be hard to finish.
A heist movie based on Uno is in the works with Lil Yachty.
What?
Uno, the card game.
Uh-huh.
What if that's a heist movie and Lil Yachty is involved somehow?
What was he like? Go to steal a bank and the cops like, Uno reverse guard.
We
go to
from
jail.
you.
Yeah, like what does that mean?
I don't know.
That doesn't mean anything.
Sony is making a Viewmaster movie.
Isn't that one a horror movie?
No. That's what you would think, but they say it's going to be a 4-quadrant family-friendly blockbuster.
Right. That's stupid.
Yeah, it should. That's the easiest horror movie of all.
Easy horror. Again,
you look at the thing and it tells you how you die.
Again, I feel like Magic 8 Ball kind of is inherently like could be a horror movie.
Yeah,
concept.
you could make a bad 90-minute horror movie out of the Magic 8 Ball.
Same with that one. I feel like very like kind of like the Polaroid movie. Like you could very easily,
because everyone remembers that and it was a big hit.
No, but like haunted object that shows you how you die or kills you or whatever.
Yeah, you put it out in August. It cost $10 million. $25 million worth of dumb teenagers go watch it because they're bored. Bada bing, bada boom.
That seems doable.
Sony would make that.
Mm-hmm.
And Sony's movie, it would be like you look into the Viewmaster and it just shows you product placement advertisement tie-ins. Mm-hmm. Like it just shows you ads for Pepsi over and over again. Okay, Sam. We just talked about our buddy Vin. The Dees. The beautiful world. The beautiful world himself. Fast and Furious. His flagship franchise. The last movie.
Let's call it what it is. His franchise. It's just a franchise.
The 10th mainline installment came out all the way back in 2023. It's been 2 years. It ended on several cliffhangers.
I would say maybe the cliffhanger of all time.
Like 3. It had 3.
All his friends explode.
In a plane. Yep.
He then explodes.
He drove off a dam as it explodes.
And then the dam explodes a second time, and he's about to be crushed by dam debris and water from the dam.
And Gal Gadot's a submarine captain.
Gal Gadot is alive and in a submarine.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who died previously is alive, except maybe Han, who maybe dies again because of plane.
Well, they all were in the plane that exploded. So
Gal Gadot was in submarine.
Yeah, but I'm assuming the rest of the crew all survived the plane explosion.
Yeah. And is... the other, what's the guy who's actually dead in real life?
Paul Walker.
Is Paul Walker dead? Who knows?
No, his character is alive. He is dead in real life.
Right. But in the movie, maybe his house also explodes.
He's watching the kids.
He's always watching the kids.
Sam, apparently there has been little to no development on Fast and Furious 11, despite 2.5 years worth of time since the last movie.
I was under the impression that they were like filming these back because it was like X Part 1 and X Part 2, right? Like one movie originally.
I believe that was the intention, and then they just gave up on the. Basically, what's going on is that there's no approved script, no release date, and somehow the studio, in their infinite wisdom, did not get any of the actors to sign a contract that they're coming back for the 11th one as they were making the 10th one. So unless the filmmakers can get the budget to $200 million, Universal is just probably not going to make the movie. The last one cost $340 million and made $704 million worldwide. So the last one lost them money. Honestly, because they spent so much on it.
Let's say, who do we know is alive? Vin Diesel, his kid,
Jason Momoa,
and Gal Gadot.
I believe whoever
Gal Gadot is escaping with.
Okay, I believe we're at the point where the only major character in the franchise who is like died for good is John Cena, because he died in the last one.
But he could be alive.
But he could also just be alive. That was a very
not permanent type
anyone
of death.
Who explodes in a big fireball is probably just alive.
But I'm saying, in terms of contracts,
right,
the only ones we need that like aren't in limbo right now is Vin Diesel, Jason Momoa, Gal Gadot, Vin Diesel's like girlfriend character woman,
Michelle Rodriguez,
and the kid. That's everyone else is like maybe dead.
You would need everyone else too.
But if you couldn't get their contract for some reason, you could just be like, oh, they didn't survive the plane crash.
So apparently Vin Diesel himself is paid $25 million per film.
Well, that's,
as both star and producer. For that. Okay. Like, let me just hand them. There we go. Everyone else apparently gets paid between $2 million and $10 million. I'm guessing we're at the point where like Tyrese and Ludacris,
I forgot that
they get like 10 each, and then like whoever plays Han probably gets 2 because he's not as big a name.
These Jolly Ranchers?
I don't know. And of course everyone in the movie is played by an insanely famous person, so they're all getting paid in like incredible amounts of money to do
half of this
dumb
movie's
role.
Budget at least is in
I believe
alone.
The reports for the last movie, when that was having production problems, was that they spent $100 million on cast salaries.
Yeah, so literally half of the...
Which is half of the total budget. In addition to that, the directors also get paid a lot because you have to deal with Vin Diesel. Mm-hmm. The writers get paid a lot because you have to rewrite the script 6 times while you're shooting. Mm-hmm. These movies take place like across the whole globe, so you got to travel, have a million VFX shots, everything's exploding. So these
CGI is insane.
these are insanely expensive movies. Apparently the current scripts for part 11 would cost about $250 million. So they got to find a way to shave $50 million off of that to make it. And then on top of that, Vin Diesel has just been making appearances at random locations and promising that they will return to Los Angeles to the street racing scene, and that Paul Walker's Brian will return. He has said over and over again that they have to reunite Brian and Dom.
That to happen.
That they will do.
Yeah.
I can almost promise you that they will do. Because that is the cheapest thing.
They'll CGI him back to life.
The CGI man is probably the cheapest character in the movie.
Oh, you know what? He saved them from the airplane.
100% that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
He
and
will
also somehow saved Vin Diesel, even though he's in a completely
no. Vin Dom is the character. I just call him Vin. Vin will have found a way out of the situation himself because he's that cool.
But the only possible situation that Vin Diesel would allow Dom to get saved is if it means Paul Walker like back to life and
I think Paul Walker would save everyone else, and then Vin would get out of it with his coolness. Because he's just so rad. No, we love these movies. We're big fans. I think, like, genuinely, these are fun and dumb.
Nothing is dumber than this.
Nothing is dumber. I mean, 11 is too many. They should have probably stopped at 10.
Yeah.
I think the fact that it was diminishing returns from 9 is pretty clear evidence from that. They also have the problem of these movies' biggest market was China, and the Chinese box office is pretty much gone. So
yeah, and that's probably not going to come back.
You have to get it to appeal, which is probably why he wants to take it back to LA, so he can try to like excite the American audience again. But I think they just don't care and are disconnected from this. Bringing back a man who died 10 years ago with computers is probably not going to save that.
Especially not. There's a lot of big like anti-AI sentiment.
Yeah.
Right now, and you'd have to they would lean into that.
Now, they did do it in 7 because he didn't finish shooting it.
No, like it's totally possible to do it with the technology from before AI was a big talking point. But they would brag about how they did use AI to bring it back.
Because it would save them money.
Well, no, not even. Like, that is a use case where, like, it makes sense to use AI. And any kind of digital de-aging or CGI in character, that used AI before.
Yeah.
We just didn't call it that. These guys are not smart enough to, like, have the wherewithal not to brag about how they're using AI to bring him back.
Oh, I forgot. I just remember that the other cliffhanger that it ended on was that The Rock was back.
Yeah, he's also
Jason
there.
Momoa was gonna. He told Jason Momoa that he was gonna come get him, and that he was a Psalm bitch. I just remember that also happened. He's also gonna get paid like $20 million.
Oh, probably more than that.
Yeah, him and Vin probably get paid the same. That's $50 million worth of the budget.
That is
paying Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel. Yes. Yeah. No, I feel like it's also going to be weird because he died in 2015. So the character's going to have to be older. Like they're going to have to age Paul Walker as if he's still alive.
No.
Or he'll just look the same from 10 years ago. Yeah, it's just going to be weird. I don't know if people would like that. People are really weird about bringing dead actors back. Because there are like cases where the general audience like enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like when Ghostbusters Afterlife came out, people like me and people on like internet film spaces hated the bringing back Harold Ramis with computers thing. The general audience was like, "Oh, this is sweet." Like they liked that.
But I think it depends on the relationship between the actor and the movie when they passed away. Because he was on like tumultuous ground with a lot of the Ghostbusters passed away.
The question is like, would they have done this if they were still alive?
Yeah, exactly. Whereas like with Carrie Fisher, right, being CGI'd back as
she
Leia,
would have done that.
She would have definitely been in Star Wars. James Earl Jones even passed away, and he said he wants to keep being Darth Vader, and they're
gonna AI his voice.
Yeah, they AI cloned his voice before he passed away so that he could continue to be Darth Vader. Like there are some instances where the desires align, and that makes sense, and I think the audience is a lot more accepting of that.
Then there's the Flash where it's like, we brought back George Reeves,
even though he has no possible way of him or any family members consenting to that in any way.
The actor's dying words were, "I never want to do one of those godforsaken movies ever again."
Yeah,
and we brought him back. Like
that's like okay.
Paul Walker would do the new one. Paul Walker would still be in these.
That's
if he was
why
still
I
alive.
think this is not as bad. Like he would have just hit, unless in the alternate timeline where he doesn't pass away and him and Vin Diesel eventually have some kind of falling out, I could maybe potentially see that happening. But that is such a huge speculative leap from like what the current reality we live in is. I think it makes sense that he...
Would anything be more fitting for this franchise than it just stopping where it's at? Like the ending of the series is just
everyone dies.
That everyone exploded.
Jason Momoa just kills everyone, and the franchise ends.
That's where we're at.
Random guy that none of them knew existed, who just hates all of them for no discernible reason, just hunts them all down
and kills all of them.
Kills them, and that's how the franchise ends. That would be a fitting.
Well,
end.
because the other weird part is that he was also talking about when 10 was coming out, how 11 was gonna have a different story and villain.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they were pretty much just going to ditch the Momoa thing and move on to something else. Because he was talking about how he wanted the villain to be RDJ and he would have been like a tech billionaire. And like he would like use drone cars and Dom would have been his nemesis because Dom's all about like driving with your heart or whatever. That was the direction that he wants to lead in.
You know,
I think Vin himself doesn't like where the franchise, like what 10 was.
Yeah.
I think he wants it to be something else at this point.
Because
Momoa is also another big personality thing. And Vin Diesel likes to be the alpha dog all the time.
Yeah. I think that there does not exist another universe that is so rife with desires, yet so creatively bankrupt at the same time. Like, Vin Diesel has pitched somehow basically 4 different versions of this movie.
Every time he talks, he's like, oh, it's also gonna be this movie at the same time.
Of the 10 that exist, or 9, 10 that exist.
11 if you include Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah. There is like so little substance to them. Like, how does he have this many ideas and so little meat?
How does he have this many ideas and they're 11 in?
I don't know. Doesn't really make sense.
I remembered when he posted that Instagram photo of him and The Rock. And he
stretched himself out all wide so he was bigger than The Rock. And started with my little brother Dwayne.
That was the greatest thing that ever happened.
And he's like, we have to reunite
to
save the
just
franchise.
Airing out publicly a contract dispute with your co-star on Instagram, where you're belittling him in the post
during what pretty much was his like peak of his popularity.
Yes.
Like now, I think it's pretty safe to say Vin Diesel is more popular than The Rock. I think like today.
I think that's only
because his reputation.
I think that's only because The Rock has had movies that failed. Vin Diesel has avoided that because he hasn't made any other movies.
Yeah, so there's a standard of quality. There's like an expectation from.
Right.
Like The Rock has a behavioral standard you expect him to meet. Vin Diesel has no standards at all. You just expect him to be like the dumbest guy.
He might have. I'm trying to think like. Everyone is when the Smashing Machine was coming out, everyone was talking about The Rock and his roles and like the movies he makes and how most of them are terrible.
But even that didn't really move the needle much because like no one saw Smashing.
But he was good in that, and that movie is fine. Yeah. Like, when's the last time Vin Diesel was in a good movie?
I don't think he has been in a good movie.
Saving Private Ryan in 1996, like seriously, he has like a very small role in it.
Who does he play in Saving?
He's just one of the soldiers. He's like, it was very early in his career.
Blown up off screen. Like,
yeah, well, he dies with like everyone else in that movie. But spoilers for Saving Private Ryan. But like that genuinely might be the last time he even tried to be in a real movie. Everything else has been Fast and Furious, Triple X.
Does he have dialogue? Like,
yeah, a couple lines. But like, I can't even think of the last time he tried to do anything remotely close to a real movie.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything but Fast and Furious for the last 10 years.
No, not really.
Anyway, Sam, Warner Brothers Discovery is for sale again for the 95th time in the last decade and a half.
And this time, they're not buying themselves.
They just straight up went out there on a Monday morning and put out a press release that said, and I quote, "They have initiated a review of strategic alternatives to maximize shareholder value in light of unsolicited interest the company has received from multiple parties for both the entire company and Warner Brothers." So as we talked about a few episodes ago, Warner Brothers is currently planning on, and is still in the works, splitting itself into 2 companies.
Yes.
Discovery, which would be the cable networks, all of the brands that are dying and dragging down the stock price, and Warner Brothers, which would be the studio, the movie studio, the TV studios,
HBO stuff.
and HBO, the stuff that is valuable. Paramount Skydance, which is owned by the Ellison family, who are the richest people in the world, who are tech multi-billionaires, who own all your personal data and basically control the U.S. government.
In large parts, yeah.
They just bought Skydance, which we've been talking about for the last year now at this point. They want Warner Brothers. The Ellisons want to build basically a monopoly of entertainment and tech. They want Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers has valuable IP. They own Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, DC, all that. Paramount owns IP, but way less valuable IP, and just doesn't have the movie library that Warner Brothers has, nor does it have HBO, which is like a way prestige brand that Paramount doesn't have.
Associated with HBO.
They are the leaders to buy this company. If you have to put a bet on it, bet on them to end up buying this company.
And the president weighed in.
Said
he wants Paramount.
There are reports that the Trump administration will only allow an acquisition of Warner Brothers if it's the Ellisons because they're friends of his personally. He will have the Department of Justice just stop any other attempted merger.
He also posted on his Truth Social that he favors a Paramount buyout.
Yes. Paramount has made 2 offers that have both been rejected by Warner Brothers so far. They offered $20 a share and then bumped it to $24 a share. And the second offer included David Zaslav staying on in the company as some sort of executive.
That's good.
But those are both turned down.
I mean, I was worried old Dave wasn't.
There's a lot to talk about here. First off, this would be terrible for everybody.
Yeah.
This would be terrible for the industry.
And the world.
And the world broadly. Thousands of people would lose their jobs. It would probably be a crippling death blow to theaters and that whole industry. Just for reference, the closest deal that exists to this was when Disney bought 20th Century Fox in 2019 for $84 billion. When that happened, the theatrical film calendar lost 13 to 14 wide releases a year.
It hasn't recovered.
That's 13 and 14 whole giant tentpole pictures off the schedule on a yearly basis. If Warner Brothers and Paramount were to merge into one company, that would bring us to, I believe, 4 major studios: Disney, Paramount, Warner Brothers, Sony, Universal, and Amazon, I guess, would technically be in there.
Yeah.
But they're really a streaming play. So it'd be 4 major film studios plus the tech companies, Amazon, Apple, and Netflix. So that would pretty much be like a nail in the coffin for studios, especially since Warner Brothers has had the best theatrical film year of all of the major studios. Everyone in Hollywood, reports around the block are that nobody wants this. Everyone is feeling awful about it, dreading it. The Writers Guild of America put out a statement saying they would do everything in their power to stop it from happening legally. It would be bad for literally there is no world where this is good for anybody but the stockholders of Warner Brothers, who would get a bunch of cash.
Yeah.
And the Ellisons, who would then own everything you consume and every platform you consume it on. Because Larry Ellison is also part of the new ownership group for TikTok. So he also just acquired that recently.
Through Oracle.
This would be very bad. That's the main part. The other part would be, this has always been the plan. When David Zaslav came in 2022,
his plan was to gut the company
and started gutting the company and slashing spending and firing people. They were doing it so they could sell it off. That was always the plan.
And if you've been watching the show, we have covered this extensively. This should not even be news to you guys. You guys should be able to put the pieces together and understand this has been the goal for a long time. We've said as much. They've said as much. It's been very obvious for a very long time.
And I think it's important because when you hear thousands of people are going to lose their jobs as a result of this, people are like, a lot of people are like, good, those rich Hollywood elitists are all going to lose their job. Those woke morons who don't get the audience.
No, those are the guys who will keep.
Those are the people that will get a big payout and then go move on to be in charge of another company and run that into the ground.
It's your everyday VFX artists.
It's the VFX artists, the crew members, the key grips, the people who just do office work for these companies who will now be redundant and are laid off. It will be the people affected will be the families of these people that rely on them for food. Like, there's all this stuff
and
about
the people who are kept on and now have to do twice the workload.
No, because a lot of like, it annoys me when there are all these people out there who are like, when there's a two women kiss in a Pixar movie and are like, we're brainwashing the kids. This is ruining the children. The actual children who are at risk now are the ones whose parents are going to be unemployed and won't be able to feed them.
The studio is
because David Ellison would like to add another billion dollar company to his portfolio.
Yeah.
That is bad. This is only a bad thing, and there will be nothing good to come out of it. David Ellison has been going around and talking about how, oh, they're going to spend more, they're going to make more stuff.
That's never true.
That is going to be true temporarily, because they're going to go around and make a bunch of deals with talent, so talent are on their side.
Anytime.
They will not make half the stuff they've said they're going to make. They're going to double down on the IP that works, because that is the entire reason to buy Warner Brothers in the first place.
Anytime any company buys any other company, the goal is to skeletonize the company.
Right.
Make it as slimmed down as possible while still producing enough money to make the purchase worth it. And you have to do that because most of the time these companies go into massive debt to purchase each other. And the only way to pay that off is to, through absolutely every means possible, maximize the money you're making.
And the Ellisons, who are made their money in tech, they don't care about the history of Warner Brothers, the film library of Warner Brothers, the lot, the relationships they have with the filmmakers and the talent, all of that stuff, which is
it's all superfluous.
So crucial to Warner Brothers history. They don't care about any of that. They just want the brands that Warner Brothers owns. They want Warner Brothers so that they can have Superman and Batman and Harry Potter.
Yeah.
They don't care about anything else. So everyone else who works in any of those departments, whether it be the studio executive in charge of the Conjuring universe or the security guard on the Warner Brothers lot, they're all gone. They're all getting fired. All of those people will lose their jobs because all they care about is keeping the Batman logo t-shirts so that they can sell more of them. That is what this is about. It would only be bad. It has not for sure happened yet that they have bought Warner Brothers.
And there are other players in the ring.
Correct.
Netflix has thrown their hat in the ring.
Although apparently they're not super invested in it. The main holdup here is that Paramount wants the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
They want the movie studio and the cable networks.
And the cable channels, which they were unable to sell Netflix on. As I am aware.
Everyone else who would be a potential bidder, which would be Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Comcast, none of them want the cable networks.
Yeah.
Comcast, which owns Universal, which would also shorten us down to 4 major studios if that were to happen.
Yeah.
That
would be equally bad.
That would be equally bad. They just spun off their cable networks into a separate company because they're not worth anything.
Same exact thing that Warner Brothers is in the process of doing.
If Apple or Netflix or Amazon were to buy them, they would have. They're not even in the cables. Like Netflix, what would Netflix do with a bunch of cable channels?
They wouldn't. They would shut them down if they were to purchase them all.
It would also be bad if Netflix bought them because that you would still be losing the theatrical. I mean, there would be no more Warner Brothers movies in theaters ever again if Netflix were to buy them because they're just not in that business. Really, like the Amazon is kind of the same thing. Amazon has
put movies
in theaters, and they're doubling down on it next year. They, I believe, have 13 movies scheduled for a theatrical release next year. If 4 of those in a row bomb, they're just going to stop doing it again, though, and they'll just go back to being on Prime. Because Amazon's thing is Amazon exists to have Prime Video.
Yeah,
like they're there so that they can sell you socks while you're watching a show.
Yeah.
That just leaves Apple, and I guess that's the lesser of all the evils, is if they're bought by Apple.
I hate that is
because Apple would have use for putting their movies in theaters.
How are we at a point where Apple buying you best case scenario?
Exactly.
Why did the tech companies have to buy?
And everything? Because Apple doesn't have the infrastructure that Warner Brothers has.
Yeah, they would see a meaningful gain.
They wouldn't,
purchasing.
And they would not need to lay off. There would not be as many redundancies. They could keep a lot of the people because they don't own the real estate. They don't own the distribution network. So they would keep a lot of the Warner Brothers stuff.
We assume they could also just shut it all down.
Oh, no
for
matter what
reason.
company
Yeah.
buys it, there will be mass layoffs.
Yeah.
It's happening at Paramount as we speak. They just announced that the first week of December, right before Christmas, they're going to lay off like 1,200 people at Paramount. So that's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
So the question is like, which one would it be more catastrophic for? And it would be Paramount Skydance would be by far the worst. Like that would be bad for literally everybody.
Yeah.
Except for the people who would get a multi-billion-dollar stock buyout.
Comcast, probably just as bad. I don't see that being better.
Comcast's main thing apparently is that it might be too expensive for them, because Comcast is currently in a kind of a financial bind right now.
Yeah.
Because their main revenue stream was the cable networks.
I'm saying if they were to buy them, it would be just as bad, because they would also be in massive debt and have to strip the company for parts.
And you would again lose another major studio.
All that same stuff we talked about with Paramount. Netflix would probably keep more than they got rid of, just because they are so willing to spend so much on stuff that makes very little sense.
But again, you would lose.
But you would lose the
theatrical,
the culture and the history of. Although they have been dipping their toe in the theatrical pool,
but they would never.
But they're not swimming, and they're not planning on swimming anytime
No, they
soon.
would never put 14 movies a year in theaters.
No, they'd maybe do.
And
one or
that
two
wouldn't help them.
max.
If they were to buy Warner Brothers, it'd be the same thing. It'd be so that they could have an exclusive
it'd be
Batman
to
movie
bolster
to
the
Netflix.
streaming library.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's all bad. Just because Warner Brothers has rejected Paramount's first two offers does not mean they're going to go with them. That's negotiation.
Yeah.
That Warner Brothers wants $30 a share. Paramount's at 24. They'll probably settle on 27, 28.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to happen by the end of the year. Really, the only thing that would stop that is if the government stepped in.
And if the government stepped in, it would be in Paramount's favor.
It would be in Paramount's favor because the Trump administration has openly said
it would not be in the direction of preventing a merger. It would be in the direction of bolstering it in the favor of the.
You also have to remember that Warner Brothers Discovery owns CNN, and as anyone who has been alive in the world knows, for the past 10 years, the president is not a fan of CNN or the things they do.
No.
And so as long as David Ellison comes in and says, we're going to make CNN more supportive of the president, Donald Trump's going to go, that's great. I support this merger.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and do it. Because that's all he cares about. That was the main thing with the CBS Paramount News holdup.
Yeah, and that's why they had as many show cancellations as they did in the
administration had
onset of
the administration had no problem with the merger itself. They just wanted CBS News to make concessions that they were going to be friendlier to the president.
Yeah.
So it would be the same situation. As long as the Ellisons say that CNN is going to be more unbiased, then the government will just let it through.
Yeah. They do not have any vested interest in police.
No, they don't. Disney owns 33% of the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
If this were to happen, like the Ellisons would probably own a comparable amount.
And the Disney Fox merger also should never have happened. Not to seem like we're
no, that was also terrible.
No, that was also just as bad for the. I mean, it was fun for us because yay, the X-Men can show up in Marvel movies now, but that hasn't even happened. They haven't even done that.
And it would also throw everything that's going right at Warner Brothers into turmoil again. Yeah. Warner Brothers just had probably its most successful calendar year theatrically,
which is why they have more leverage.
Which is wild. Their horror department is killing it. DC finally seems to have at least some level of stability. Some
of that optimism at the very least.
People love Pam and Mike, who run Warner Brothers movies.
Mm-hmm.
They love them. Warner Brothers Television is a very successful organization. HBO is very successful. All of that would be thrown into the wood chipper if this were to go through, because I would guess David Ellison wants his own guy running DC. He wants his own guy running the movie studio. They're not going to want everything that's there.
Anything that they are working on will be changed or canceled.
Yeah, probably. Or
in the same way that,
or at least severely held up.
I mean, again, and look at Fox as an example. Did anything they were working on pre-Disney come to fruition in a way that was
No, well,
the
Disney
way they intended for it to. No,
Disney
of course
crapped
not.
out everything that was currently in the
Yeah,
pipeline.
everything that was like already almost done, they like wrapped up,
Yeah.
and then every other thing they just shut down completely.
Correct. I mean, we're seeing it right now with Paramount. Paramount has been in the process of this merger for like 2.5 years. Paramount put out like 4 movies this year.
Yeah.
Because the merger was just holding they couldn't do anything. So Warner Brothers would be in that circumstance until like 2027. By the time that everything actually got worked out. So you would see a dramatic decrease in the amount of stuff they're making in the foreseeable future. And then long term, they have no use for anything that's not Lord of the Rings. So all of that would just be strip mined out eventually too. Good news.
Very
Good
cool.
news. I love that.
I love that. So good.
We can skip the box office bombs because it doesn't really matter. Sam, I want to talk to you about the console wars stuff though.
Yeah, let's talk about the console wars. Ended the console wars.
They really have.
Or have they?
Yes.
You like
We're back. Well, we're out from 3 people to 2.
Yeah, war never ended.
But also, okay, so here's what we're talking about. Xbox announced that they are remastering or remaking. Is it a remake? I think it's a remake.
I believe it is a remake of
the original Halo.
Yeah, called Halo Campaign Evolved is the name of this new game that they are.
And it's coming to Xbox Series consoles, PC, and PlayStation 5. For the first time, Master Chief will be on your PlayStation.
Which, for those of you who don't know, the big first exclusive game was Halo. That was, aside from Nintendo, who's always been doing their own. That was the first time where a big budget, massive game was like, we are only going to be on this device. And get it on the other one.
Correct.
And
because it was the launch of the Xbox.
Yeah. And they needed people to have a reason to buy the Xbox. For those of you who don't know, Halo was not even originally developed by Microsoft or even for the Xbox. It's actually developed for the Mac. Back when they were trying to do video games when the Apple Pippin was.
I mean, we don't have time to get into all the history.
But the point is, for this game to go cross-platform is basically the closest you're going to get to a white flag from Microsoft.
Yeah. This is them giving up.
They've admitted defeat.
The Xbox Series consoles are an abject failure, as we've discussed many times on the show.
Yeah.
There's been long discussions about them transitioning to just being a software company.
It's not even clear at this point what an Xbox is. They have that big campaign where like your phone is an Xbox.
No, it's not.
It's not.
The reports come out every day, it seems like, that the gaming industry itself is collapsing, kind of.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars have been lost just to projects that have never come to fruition.
Microsoft also released their ROG Xbox Ally X this month as well, which is probably going to be the last of this is probably the second to last Xbox hardware release where I think we'll see one more console from them, and we've heard rumors from the grapevine that the next console they make is going to be like $1,200 premium gaming box, whatever that means.
Game Pass machine.
Yeah, which just I don't think
which they've also doubled the price of Game Pass.
Well, and the Xbox Ally X is I think like $1,200, $1,400, something around that price point, which is just absurd when you consider every other offering on the market. The Steam Deck is like $400 for the original one, not the OLED, but just the regular one, which is still a fantastic deal. The Switch 2, as bad of a deal as it is what, $550 with the Mario bundle?
Mm-hmm.
That's less than half the price.
So there are some interesting things to come out of this story. So Microsoft leaders are hoping that by putting this game on PC and PlayStation, it'll attract people to the Xbox ecosystem. They got an executive. New York Times got an executive on the record to say that consumers no longer have a strong attachment to the actual devices they use to play games, which I think is relatively true.
I disagree.
Okay. Does the whole PlayStation versus Xbox versus PC, does that really mean anything anymore?
I don't think PC as much. I think people are used to just all the games will be on PC eventually. I think that's been the industry standard for a long time.
Does the Xbox versus PlayStation debate, is that even real anymore?
I think it was not even that long ago. Is
it real today?
No, today no. But I don't think it was like we're done forever.
Would it be a thing again?
It could have been. Because look, PlayStation has been down and out before. The PS3 was like obviously it sold better than the Xbox, even the PS5 did. But like there were talks at that time of like, wow, the Xbox is doing so much better. I don't know how PlayStation is going to come back from this. And then they released the PS4. They completely dominated that generation. Xbox completely crapped the bed.
I think
the same thing happened with the next release. But I mean, Nintendo's been down and out for long periods of time. None of these companies have been the top dog forever. And yeah, Xbox had a big stumble, but I don't think it was. I think they could have brought it back. They just gave up.
I think the whole, and it's due to a number of factors, but the whole idea of brand loyalty has shifted from the console to the games themselves. I think PC gaming and the fact that everything has ended up on PC has really shifted everyone's idea of like how we play games, and the rise of indie gaming, which are available on all these platforms, and that becoming the dominating force in the gaming industry is smaller games. I think.
But see, then why would Xbox just let?
I think the whole idea of like, I'm an Xbox fan and I'm going to live in the Xbox world and I'm going to play Halo and Gears of War and never expand. I think that's gone. I think people are just loyal to good games and they will go to where they are, and they don't care about staying in PlayStation or Xbox world anymore.
I don't know.
Because there's so many more games than there used to be, and because the whole conversation and the division of fan bases into so many, because when we used to have a monoculture, and the gaming monoculture was shaped around Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo. Yeah. It made sense that there was conflict. There's no monoculture anymore. Everything is subculture. So if you're just a fan of puzzle games,
you'll just play on your phone.
You'll just play puzzle games. You don't care where it's at or what it's on. I think that has shifted.
I think that's true to an extent, but I mean, that was always kind of the case. I mean, people were only PlayStation fans because they liked PlayStation games. Like there wasn't anything about the box itself.
I agree with you, but there was like,
and if that was the case, then why did the PS5 outsell the Xbox so much?
Is it just a marketing thing?
Or I don't think Xbox spent any less on marketing than Sony did. I would find that hard to believe.
I think it might have been a marketing, and I think it's a simplicity thing. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why the Xbox Series failed. I think like a not small one was that no one knows what that is.
I think the biggest problem
it's very easy. If I show you an Xbox Series X and an Xbox One X, if I showed your average person, they would not be able to tell me which one is which.
Yeah, no, I think that is a major problem for Xbox. But see, that's not something they couldn't have fixed. Like Nintendo with the Wii U, exact same situation. I would say that Nintendo during the Wii U era is the closest comparison we have to Xbox's current era.
Sure.
And we saw Nintendo come back in the biggest way it ever has.
But I think
after that,
Nintendo, and the reason we declare the console wars over, even though Nintendo is still fighting it, is Nintendo is in such a different space than everyone else that you can't. Nintendo has no interest in the types of games that PlayStation and Xbox rely on to run. financially.
That was true in the Wii, the Wii U, and basically every era up until the Switch. But the Switch has seen massive success.
They're not interested in even the same technology.
But they see massive success from ports of PlayStation and Xbox. They have Doom. They had Nier Automata, which was a PlayStation exclusive. Like, they've seen massive gains from
the companies
generation or cross
the games
that
there. Make Xbox and PlayStation run are giant budgeted online based multiplayer games.
Mm-hmm.
Madden, FIFA, NBA, Call of Duty. That's what make those things run.
Yeah, Nintendo just never went in.
Nintendo doesn't care about those.
Aspect. Yeah,
Nintendo has leaned into a broad audience of diverse games.
You know what?
And accessibility, and that is not something that Sony or PlayStation or Xbox has ever been interested in.
I don't think it's that Nintendo changed. I think it's that everyone else changed, and Nintendo is the only one that stayed the same.
I'm gonna agree with you there.
PlayStation and Xbox, as soon as, again, Halo really was the linchpin of this, but as soon as online multiplayer became the big thing,
they went all in.
They went all in a way that they have never even attempted to reel in slightly. I mean, PlayStation a tiny,
and
bit.
they
pushed
pushed
have a couple single player games, but they're always online. You can't play without an online account. You can't play without an online subscription. It's all online all the time. There's very few examples to the contrary. Nintendo is the only one that stayed in that era where they had to compete.
And I think what happened there was those companies pushed all in on these games have to look and run and sound better, and we got to get them keep looking better. Like we just got to keep one-upping each other in the graphics and the sound and the production value department. We just got to keep getting better because that's the only way we're going to stay one step ahead. And it got increasingly expensive. And then the online became a bigger and bigger component, and they started milking the consumer for all of that money.
Yeah.
And I think what happened was in 2008, the whole notion of we're playing a game together and we're talking to each other in the game, even though we're not in real person,
was a novelty.
That was a novelty.
Yeah.
We're doing that in every single aspect of our life 24/7.
It's not special at all.
We're always online, whether it's in games or just on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And that leaning 100% and putting all of your money, billions and billions and billions of dollars into the online functionality of it, that backfired. And Nintendo never did. Nintendo always leaned in on, is the game fun?
And when they
on
did,
its own.
When they did lean into the online stuff, it was for one of two reasons. One, they had a genuine interest in a unique feature that only works that way. Or two, they hate you and they just wanted to take your money.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks, but it worked. Because Nintendo Online is nothing. But you have to pay for it.
Right. But I think what Nintendo knew from their beginning in 1982 when they got into gaming to now is that if the game is fun on its own, the social component will just fall into place.
Yeah, people will want, and they'll call each other. They'll use Discord. Nintendo just now on the Switch 2 in 2025 introduced an integrated way to talk to your friends. And no one uses it because why would you? But just so that everyone understands the battlefield that we're on right now. That is how little Nintendo has cared about those features up until this point.
But and I think the story of this podcast since we've been doing it is sort of just how every aspect of our media and our entertainment and our news ecosystem is just just performing mitosis constantly and just dividing into these smaller and smaller and smaller subsections. Nintendo, the whole indie model is based on what Nintendo does.
Yeah.
Which is we'll just make a bunch of individually fun games, and then a bunch of people will get together in a Discord call, and they'll be talking to each other on Discord, but they'll all be playing different games. They don't need to all be playing Halo to talk to each other.
Yeah.
But
I think
which is the model Xbox has been based on for 20 years.
And there is a value to that. There is something special about you and all your friends squatting up for a game of whatever and playing together. There is something special.
It is
about
arguably worse that we are dividing like that.
Yeah.
But that is just the case. That is where people are at.
And I do think to some extent we are seeing, really for the first time, I would say like the last maybe 2 years, some real pushback on that. And I would say with like Silksong, I think especially shined a really big light on it of like, that game has no online functionality whatsoever. They do not care. They do not care about competing with anyone else. They do not care. They were just like, we're just going to make a fun game and we're just going to put it on the things. People can just go play the game. And that doesn't really have much to do with console wars in general, but I think it does harken back to that era of just a game for game's sake that we don't see, aside from Nintendo, any of these companies really pursuing anymore. What games does Xbox Studios make? What's the last game they made? Super Lucky's Tale? Is that I think that's the last game they made.
Halo?
That's 343 or Halo Studios.
I mean, they own that. It's all divisions of Xbox.
But I mean, like, what is an Xbox game? We know what a Nintendo game, because like Nintendo has HAL Labs, Nintendo has Platinum Games. They have their own subsidiaries too. They have Game Freak. They have their own branches of their Nintendo tree. Xbox is like a bush. There's no trunk.
No.
There's no core. Like your Zeldas, Mario's, you have your trunk, your core. Xbox has just Halo. That's it.
And what even is Halo anymore?
And Halo Infinite was like, Halo Infinite should have been a good game.
But like,
it had all the right pieces. I played it a lot. It's a fun game.
What did Mario and Zelda do over the years? They evolved.
Yeah.
They changed. They got better, arguably.
And I won't say Halo hasn't changed.
Halo hasn't changed. If you play the first Halo and the new one, the core of what that game is the same.
Well, okay. With
They've
Halo
changed
Infinite,
it's got a new coat of paint. They've changed some parts out.
Well, Halo Infinite was like an open world game. It was vastly different.
But it plays
the campaign-based
the
one.
exact same.
But the gameplay is the same.
Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild, that's like that's like going to space, man.
Yeah.
That's a whole different idea of what a game is.
But Infinite added grappling hook.
We spent $1 billion on it. Like, I don't...
800 million.
It's
the second most expensive game ever
behind
made.
GTA 6.
No, behind Genshin Impact.
Okay, behind what GTA 6 will cost.
Yes, GTA 6 isn't done yet.
This guy also gave another quote. He said, "Our biggest competition isn't another console. We are competing more and more with everything from TikTok to movies." That is true. That is true, and that is pop culture and entertainment in 2025 and beyond.
Yeah.
That is the story. That is, people aren't listening to music or going to the movies or watching TV or playing video games anymore. They're all on TikTok, and they're just on TikTok all day, every day, and they can't get off. And their attention span is cooked. Everyone can't focus on something for more than a minute.
I don't even know if there's a good way to fix that.
There isn't. But that is the story. That is the truth. That is why all these companies are merging. That is why we hear all day and day that the stock prices are down and no one knows what to do, how to get anyone's attention anymore. Because there are algorithms that sole purpose are to get you to never ever exit an app. Mm-hmm. And you are just supposed to stay on it and constantly being fed shots of dopamine from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep. And how do you break that? You really can't.
No. I'm no big fan of the but when they banned TikTok, maybe they were onto something.
No,
maybe they were onto something with that.
You cannot make the argument that it is anything else than just like a brain-eating cancer on the masses.
Yeah.
But that's what social media is. That's what social media is.
But it didn't have to be. It didn't used to be that way.
But that was always where it was going. We have to turn this off because it's about to turn off something that's not public domain.
I don't know if that's always where it was going, but I don't think we did anything to stop it from going in that. I think there could have been.
No, because it was profitable.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, at the end of the day, it had to make a profit. There could have been a future where the social media exists as a decentralized network of communication standards, but that doesn't make money the same way TikTok or Instagram does.
In a globalized economy, what is the universal currency?
Time.
It's people's time.
Yeah.
So we made a product that just eats all your time. That was where we were going.
Yeah, that's the final form of value extraction.
That is the one thing you have that they can take from you at this point. Yeah. Is just your time.
The only thing that is not completely captured.
Yeah. So that is what it's for. And like that is.
And even the TikTok CEO, I mean, Instagram has said this too, but like their biggest competitor isn't any other app or anything. It's sleep.
Yeah, it's when you sleep or have to go to the bathroom.
It's sleeping and eating that is the biggest.
Yeah. And that's what they got to try to figure out. How can you use TikTok when you're asleep?
Yeah.
I think honestly, this is kind of conspiracy brain point. I think that is why they want to put the chips in our brain. So is that they can find a way to monetize our brain activity when we're asleep.
That's more or less the plot of one of the Sword Art Online.
Yeah, I mean, that is like if we can pump ads for Exxon into your subconscious while you're dreaming.
Yeah, you're dreaming, and then whoever you're talking to in your dream goes, "Have you heard of Coke Zero?"
Like
sugar?
that's that would be the end goal. Then you are literally being extracted for every single second of value that you are a living being, and we can maximize profit.
You will be made a robot who buys products.
Yeah,
and that will be.
Can't wait. All right, got to move on from that. Sam, some stuff we missed. Oh, Netflix. Netflix is putting the Stranger Things finale in theaters. What do you think about that?
I think that's cool. I don't have any problems with that. Yeah.
Agreed.
I think it would be cool if they did like.
Do you want to go?
Huh?
On New Year's Eve, would you just be something you went out and did?
Yeah, if we don't have like other New Year's.
This
wouldn't be like this wouldn't be my first pick of things to do. But
no,
if
I
end up not having anything else going on, then fine.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool if they did like a episode per week. You go and
that would be very expensive.
Didn't someone else do that where like you could buy the pass and you could see all of the
AMC
episodes?
tried a thing, I think they're still trying it, where you could spend like $100 something and like 10 horror movies for the rest of the year you could go see.
No, but was it with Chosen? Where like you could buy a pass and you got to see like all 4 episodes, or you could watch them like individually in theaters.
Yeah, they might have done a thing where you pay up front and you get to go as they come out in batches.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't know how well that worked for Chosen, but I could totally see that working for Stranger Things.
Yeah. The only difference is that Stranger Things is like in like the release model's weird. It's like 4 episodes on Thanksgiving, 3 on Christmas, and then 1 at New Year's.
What if like you could wait to see, but
well, the important thing is that it's not coming out early in theaters. It's coming out this exact same time that it will drop on Netflix.
That is cool.
So it's really just for super fans who want to go watch it with a group of people. Netflix is addicted to this bunch model. They will not break from it. They just announced that I think Bridgerton, their new season of that, they're doing the bunch drop.
Okay,
I hate. It's objectively worse.
I like when the first 2-3 episodes come out, because like you get big bite the first time and then weekly after that. That's my favorite.
Which is what Amazon does, and I think it works pretty well for them.
I like the way they do. They used to do it way worse when they did. Here's 5 episodes. Come back in a year. That sucked. That was the worst. But I don't mind. Here's 3. Watch the rest as the week goes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I don't mind that. Now I forgot to watch Gen V, so I don't know how successful that model is necessarily. But I prefer it.
Sam, this Ben Solo movie. Apparently in 2021, Adam Driver and Steven Soderbergh
every time
came together to develop a follow-up to The Rise of Skywalker that would have revived Ben Solo and sent him on a redemption arc. Soderbergh and his wife worked on the script. They brought in Scott Z. Burns, who did the Bourne Ultimatum. They brought in him to rewrite it. Apparently, they paid him more money than they've ever paid another writer at Lucasfilm in history. Kathleen Kennedy, Dave Filoni, Carrie Beck all had active development and approval. There was a finished script, a finalized budget, and a shooting schedule, all greenlit and ready to go, and they were about to, and they presented it to Bob Iger, who's the Disney CEO,
Right.
and Alan Bergman, who is the president of Disney Movies, and they shot it down. It was the first and only time a Disney project has ever been greenlit at Lucasfilm and then shot down by the larger company.
I'm not happy, Bob. Not happy.
I'm not surprised you're not happy.
You know, I understand why it was canceled. Because I think
It's not a great idea.
on face value, the idea is not very good. But clearly, they saw enough in it to go all this way. And the stuff that they do greenlight isn't necessarily any better of an idea than this.
They canceled this and they made The
yeah,
Mandalorian and Grogu
I certainly
instead.
wouldn't say Mandalorian and Grogu is any more creatively fulfilling, or Ahsoka is any more fulfilling, or
again, more importantly for the studio, financially viable.
like how is this possibly less good of a thing than like Starfighter?
Right.
Like, I don't, like, to me, these seem like equally mid ideas.
Well, they're also doing the Rey movie, which is also an equally mid idea.
And honestly, I don't necessarily think bringing Ben Solo back to life would be a great idea. But also,
I agree with you, but if
'cause
Adam Driver and Steven Soderbergh, who, if you don't know, did Ocean's 11 and Logan Lucky and Black Bag earlier this year, a lot of great movies, and not a guy who is like doing big movie franchise IP, like a guy who just kind of does his own thing and usually makes really good movies off on his own. If he comes to you with Adam Driver, who's like one of our best working actors and who has a pretty high standard of quality for the projects he does,
and
is like, hey, we have an idea for a Star Wars and we'll write it for you.
And we already finished it.
And I'll direct it. You say yes. Like, it doesn't really matter if there's like a conceit of Ben Solo's alive again. It's not even the first time they've revived a dead character in the Star Wars franchise.
Now, I will say it would be the first time we revive a character without killing someone else.
Like a trade-off deal?
Yeah. We've never had a character die and then get revived without someone else dying in substitution of that character.
Lucasfilm revived... Okay, Darth Maul fell into that big hole and then he was just alive.
Right, but he never died. Just was mostly dead. Right?
That character was dead. And they brought him back because he looks cool.
Yeah.
And they were fine with doing that. And everyone was fine with that.
But I think there is something different about the way that Ben Solo died.
He got stabbed.
No, he
forced too hard.
No, he transferred his life into Rey to bring
he
her back to life.
He forced too hard.
Yeah, but it wasn't the same way where Luke just like used a power and died. Like, this is a power that explicitly transfers your life into someone else. If that doesn't kill you, then
me and you could come up with a dumb Force explanation.
And, well, we have seen that I think it was the father, or no, Anakin did that in Clone Wars when he transferred the sister's life essence into Ahsoka to bring her back. Like, this is something that traditionally has occurred in Star Wars. And I think, specifically when it comes to, like, you're sacrificing your life to bring someone else back, and then you die, if you then come back after that, then it's like, anything really back, I guess.
Me and you could come up with a dumb reason for why, like, the magic Force ghosts would need to bring him back because he has, like, a divine mission he needs to fulfill.
Yeah.
That only he can do.
Maybe Force Ghost Anakin freaking magic.
Yeah, you can just be like,
back to life. I don't know, whatever. But, like,
it's a Jesus thing. I don't know. What is Star Wars if not like a vague Jesus thing?
You could maybe like World Between Worlds, and maybe it's like a past Ben Solo or something.
Or just like when he died, Rey brought him to like this magic Force
Nexus,
and he should have died. But
I guess Abeloth could bring.
but his spirit was preserved, and some group of people have like messed with his body and somehow resurrected him, and now he has to go on a quest
or something
to find like eternal rest or something. I don't know. They came up with something. Apparently it just wasn't good enough.
Would have been interesting if it's about his Force ghost becoming one with the living Force.
Bad. Don't do that one.
I mean, that would be interesting.
You want to watch? You think okay, but if you're Lucasfilm, you're like, we need a Star Wars movie. You're not going, what about a $200 million meditation on the afterlife?
Okay, but that is an interesting thing.
That's an interesting idea for like a book, maybe. You can't do that in a movie. What's the story there? He goes to purgatory?
You know the movie Soul? It's that, but Star Wars.
Okay, that's a bad pitch.
Okay, I'm being very general with my description.
No, yeah.
But
you have to bring him back physically, because he has to run around and hit stuff with a lightsaber.
Okay, but Ahsoka force-dueled people with lightsabers in Afterlife.
Well, no, but she was in the ghost dimension.
Is that different than the Afterlife somehow?
You're saying he's a ghost the whole movie.
She duels Anakin's Force ghost.
That was like a dream vision, and that wasn't the whole show.
It is canon that they can fight in Dream World. The ghosts can fight. Yoda freaking blows up a tree.
That's true.
As a Force ghost.
He struck it with lightning, and that's apparently something they can do. No, you can't keep him a ghost, because you have to give him defined rules for like his life, and there has to be stakes. So you got to do that. But like there's ways. They had one. Like they wrote a script. Like they came up with a way.
You could do something there. There is things you could do.
There is absolutely whatever idea they had, no matter how convoluted
to go this far
or dumb it was, I can almost guarantee you it would be better than the Mandalorian and Grogu movie that they're actively preparing to release. Like Disney Star Wars has no standard of quality. They do not care.
What confuses me the most...
They made The Rise of Skywalker.
What confuses me the most about them canceling this is like... They just, like, they let everything else fly.
Why everything but this one? Which has an actor who people like, a director who's an actual, like, good at his job, and a visionary.
Yeah.
It's got a script. Lucasfilm wants to make it.
Dave and Kathleen are on board.
They're on board. Like, what is the holdup here?
What's the issue? And you know what? As, like, technical, like, with the Force, whatever. If Dave says it's okay, it probably makes sense. He's usually the guy who's in charge of, like, does this make sense with the lore?
But you can also, like, that can be the movie.
Yeah.
Is him trying to, like, he wakes up and then we got to figure out how he came back.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's something.
That is a story that would be interesting to see happen. Yeah.
I mean, Disney is actively developing a Rogue Squadron movie.
Are they still?
They were at one point.
Allegedly, that's maybe still.
That was something that got the okay.
Yeah.
Like, why is that what if we got those fighter pilots from the third act of A New Hope and they went on an adventure?
And they do the thing.
Yeah, like that's a better idea.
No, that's a much worse idea.
Exactly.
Even I would say whatever Star Wars Starfighter is still sounds less.
The Book of Boba Fett came out.
That sucked.
That was terrible, and that was also just bringing a character back for completely dumb and arbitrary reasons. There's absolutely zero chance in the universe that the idea for bringing Ben Solo back to life was worse than when Boba Fett just woke up and crawled out of the monster that ate him, and then decided to be the mayor of a small town.
Boba Fett did escape the Sarlacc in the original lore as well, but it looked like this, where he like fought the thing and exploded himself and flew out of it in a fiery and he didn't just like crawl out of the ground and then pass out of the desert.
He didn't crawl out of the ground, pass out, somehow have gained like 50 pounds in age 20 years, immediately get robbed, join up with some hobos, and then become mayor of a small town and run it with the Spy Kids. Like that That they were okay with spending $200 million on that.
Like, was there any point where they didn't pick the worst possible direction to go with that? Like, could they have made it any lamer? Is it possible?
Has that literally happened? Have they not done that where they have not picked the worst possible direction to take something in any single property they have done that isn't Andor? Every single thing they have done, they have launched and have made it worse over the course of its run.
The only thing I can think of where they like almost had some ideas was Acolyte. They had like they almost had an idea. They didn't finish the idea, but like they almost
But
had
that
an
was
idea.
a thing where it got worse as it went on.
Yeah.
And then they gave up on it.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here?
Maybe
That show
but
cost
that never went anywhere.
That show cost like $250
The
million.
pacing of that show that could have been 2 episodes.
Every episode's 30 minutes. I don't even know where the money went. You did that? You gave Leslie Headland, the showrunner of Russian Doll, $250 million to make a TV show? But Steven Soderbergh, nah. Too much money. Too much money
big
for a theatrically released film with a big name actor based on a character and storyline that people like. That's too much. What are they going to do when Mandalorian and Grogu underperforms? Because it will.
Well, Starfighter's almost done. That's also going to underperform.
So I think Starfighter's a better bet than...
It is a better bet. It'll make more money, but it's still going to underperform.
Of course, it's not going to make $1 billion, which is the benchmark for this franchise.
Yeah, it'll do the same
large.
as Solo will. It'll do the same as Solo did.
Yeah, which is like
it's going to be the
380.
same movie. It's going to be Solo with Ryan Gosling. Let's not pretend it's going to be anything else.
Who is not an actor who has really ever been the lead of a big franchise movie.
No.
Or he has, but they've never been successful.
Sort of, he's the co-lead of Barbie, so almost that. But even that is not about him mostly. He's a supporting character.
That's a lightning in a bottle, like all stars aligned.
Yeah.
That was not
for all intents
because
and purposes, that should not have happened.
that was not because of him.
Yeah.
He's a big part of that. But like Fall Guy, First Man, Blade Runner, like all of those have not worked.
I could see this doing as well as Blade Runner,
which was a notorious failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's never.
I think Blade Runner should have come. That's not the point.
I don't think you're wrong. Does
think
Denis Villeneuve still do it?
Yeah. No, like if that exact movie released today, I think it would have done better than it.
There is like a. I'm gonna give you a maybe on
Ryan Gosling's bigger now because Barbie.
Sure.
And AI girlfriends like are a real thing that exists now.
True.
And like that, I think that commentary would hit a lot closer to home now than it ever had previously.
And it's also not just as straightforward as like a Terminator thing where it's just like it's bad and will nuke us.
Yeah, no, like there's
other stuff going on,
like nuance to.
But I mean, the creator came out, and that just fell flat on its face.
Well, that's still different though. That's not quite the.
That's a good movie.
It is good. I did like The Creator.
Everyone go watch The Creator.
But I don't know if Star Wars crawl itself out of this hole.
No.
There's a lot of things they could do. There are still stories that would be interesting to hear, but
it's the same thing with Marvel where it would need to take a prolonged break.
Yeah.
And
it has though.
And really stop and
they haven't made a movie in 6 years now.
I mean, like by me break, I mean like me and you need to not be talking about it for like minimum 6 to 8 months. Like they've stopped making movies, but the conversation around Star Wars has not ceased since 2012. Like we've just kept going because there've been so much TV and there's been all of the controversy and the nonstop marketing campaigns.
The last Star Wars thing? Was it Acolyte?
Andor.
Andor was.
You don't even, but we don't even associate that with Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like it's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
It's just not.
No, I mean that's again. I think I said it when we talked about Andor. Andor is playing Major League Baseball in the World Series, and everything else is playing T-ball in the Rough Riders parking
They're still
lot.
learning how a baseball bat works.
Yeah, like they don't even know how to play the game. that Andor is excelling at. But yeah, no, like Star Wars has not stopped. Like they've taken a break from movies, but even the first movie out the gate requires that you are knowledgeable about the television show they've been making in between.
But I think that is Star Wars' version of a break. Because like I don't think the conversation about Star Wars can ever
they will never stop. They have to keep going.
Because like we will always be talking about Star Wars.
Yeah.
But like most people I know are not thinking about Star Wars. Hardly ever. Some of them are like vaguely aware that like Mandalorian exists and is getting maybe another season. They don't know.
It's kind of related to this. I've been thinking a lot about movie marketing recently, where a lot of people have issue with the way movies are marketed, where like movies will come out and people will go, I didn't even know that was out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well then there's one of two things is going on. One, they're just straight up not telling people, like they're just not marketing at all. Or two, they are, and you just become numb to it. And I think it's that one. I think we're at the point with, and then that same kind of idea applies to these big franchise IP things, where it's not that people dislike Star Wars. It's not that people don't want to see Star Wars. It's just the fact that like it just keeps happening, so that they don't even really pay attention to it anymore, and they don't feel strong one way or the other about it. Like
I think the volume of advertising that people are subject to now is just more than it ever has been.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's so much harder for an ad, especially for a movie,
right?
Because like, okay, when you make an ad for like a hot dog, right? You can do anything in a hot dog ad. You can have the dude shove the hot dog up his booty hole, and it's like, okay, that stands out. I've never seen that before.
It's the same thing
with a movie. Yeah. You're confined to advertising the content of the movie, for better or worse.
And you can only cut so many TV spots.
Yeah, and most movies are not that different, especially in IP hell world.
Well, yeah, and it's like it's the same thing of the first time you see a Burger King ad, you're gonna remember seeing it because you're like, I've never seen that ad before. The 80th.
You need to plug your phone in.
Oh, okay. The 80th time you see the same Burger King ad while watching an NFL game, it's not even gonna register. You're not even gonna notice that you're watching a Burger King ad.
I don't think we've had a good movie trailer since Age of Ultron. Like, can you think of a big movie trailer since then?
Like a good trailer?
Yeah, like one that was like, whoa. That's
28 Years Later had a great first trailer.
You know what, I agree. That was a fantastic trailer.
But that was another thing where they put that trailer out, it gauged a bunch of interest. People were like really excited for it. And then by the time the movie came out,
it was too early.
People had just been like, they'd seen that trailer 85 times and they didn't even register that they were being shown it anymore.
And it had become a TikTok sound.
Yeah, people are just numb to things. Like, there's so much input in our brains all the time that, like, eventually, like, it just all is noise and you don't notice anything.
Yeah.
Like, people walk around in the world and are advertised to constantly. I think it's been studied where like you are literally exposed to thousands and thousands and thousands of advertisements on a daily basis. You couldn't tell me 3 that you saw today. Like you just straight up
Aside
don't.
From the ones that we've
right, but like you don't even. But I couldn't tell you all the posters we have in here.
Yeah,
like I couldn't. Like you just don't even register it. It just becomes part of the background.
It's just wallpaper.
Yeah, because we're all just doing our own thing. We're focused on what we're up to, and that kind of stuff is a distraction, especially if there's an ad playing on TV, I can just look at my phone.
Yeah.
I'm not captive to anything going on. I always have options of where my attention can be. But the point is they should have made the Ben Solo movie.
Yeah. No, I don't even know that they should have made it. I just don't understand why they chose to make the things they did and cancel this.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
Personally, I would have been excited.
I don't necessarily think that this should have been made. I think it should have been canceled way earlier on in its production. I don't understand how it got to this point.
As a Steven Soderbergh fan, I would have been excited for this.
What has he done? What's he made?
Ocean's 11. We just saw Black Bag earlier this year.
Right, okay. So he's done good stuff.
Yeah. No, good director who does interesting stuff.
He's very good director.
Like, I would have been excited on that front, but, I mean, anytime you would revive a character like that, like there would be a buy-in. But you would also, like, maybe that's like the marketing for it.
That could be.
You
Like,
go,
you
how
definitely
does this? How is this guy back?
Yeah,
Like,
my
how
issue
did they
is
do
not that it like conflicts with the lore. Because like, yeah, if we're being real, like Star Wars lore,
It's nonsense.
like,
They're making it up as they go along.
and that's
Yeah.
always been how Star Wars is. But it's the fact that like they just invested this much in it to scrap it when they've invested far more in far stupider ideas.
And I want to make it clear, this is not like Lucasfilm or Kathleen Kennedy's fault. They wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Bob Iger shot it down, which is wild. Because what will Bob Iger not make?
Yeah, when is Bob? What has Bob said no to ever?
The fact that this...
What has he ever said no to?
The fact that this story broke as the $220 million Jared Leto vehicle Tron sequel came out is that's beautiful. Like, that's incredible. Like, third Tron movie with the most hated actor in Hollywood. Let's do it. Star Wars movie with Adam Driver and Steven Soderbergh. Tron, though. This is something here. Let's do that.
Like, what has he said no to? Like, literally. What is he... I can't think of a thing that's ever where I heard that he shut it down.
If there's an IP on it, he approves it. That's all he cares about. As long as it's got a brand tie-in, like, he's fine with it. That's his philosophy in life. What are you looking up?
I was compiling the Pokemon.
Okay. That's that story. We can briefly touch on the Pokemon leaks, and then we're going to take a break, and we'll do our Halloween thing.
Yeah. So...
Mm-hmm. Sam is killing a forest to do Pokemon research.
Okay. So, Pokemon is in a bit of a weird spot right now. I talked a little bit last time about all the mega leaks from ZA that came out. ZNA has come out, Pokemon ZA, Legend ZA. And for the first time since... have not bought the Pokemon game on release. I have not played ZA. Nothing compels me to play ZA. I feel nothing towards Pokemon Legends ZA, and everything that I do see makes me want to play it less.
That's awesome.
Which is not really the main topic of the story. More of just an interesting note for longtime viewers of the show. Know that like I've been a big Pokemon fan. I always played a Pokemon
Sam
game.
Loves Pokemon,
and I still
than anything
Pokemon.
on the planet.
I still have a lot of my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but like this, and I'm tired of Pokemon taking half steps forward and 4 steps back, and me just waiting for them to like do the thing. And you know what? I think a big part of it is I got the Switch 2. And I played Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 2. And I was like, oh, this is it. This is the Pokemon game that I always wanted. It's this game, but it like works.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'm good. I'll just wait till you do that better. I'm not going to go take 2 steps back again. I'm not going to do that.
You don't want the Legends. I don't even know what the game is.
It takes place only in Lumia
I know
City.
it's in Kalos.
It's the same general gameplay loop as
Legends Arceus.
Yes, the only difference is there's a day-night cycle. During night is trainer battles, and during the day you capture and research the Pokemon, the Wild Zone. There is a coalition of people who are upset that the city management has arbitrarily set up random city streets to be Wild Zones, which like, yeah, if someone put like a zebra enclosure around our house, I'd be like, I'm sorry, what?
I would be fine with it. Can I pet the zebra?
The B plot is that you are in debt to the mob, and you have to fight trainers to raise your rank and pay off your mob debt. That's the real subplot. The game still has no voice acting, though it has fully animated facial dialogue. Like they mouth the specific words. They just say nothing.
Well, they would have had to pay someone.
So that is the transition I was looking for the leaks. We have the budget leak for all the Pokemon games, I think since X and Y. Let me pull those up real quick.
Vamp, 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 vamp.
So
Need a vamp
if
song.
I pull this up here, what would you guess the budget for Scarlet and Violet was?
It's the most recent mainline one. I don't know a lot about how much video games cost.
For context, Halo Infinite was $800 million.
Okay, I'm gonna go 560.
5, 6, so about half of a Halo.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It also sold a heck of a lot better.
Yeah,
than
no,
Halo.
it made billions.
$22 million.
Holy crap. That's insane.
They are making these games for the price of a freaking Super Clips membership card.
That is like the price of a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah,
Maybe
less.
two.
Pokemon had a Super Bowl commercial one year.
That one commercial cost
one
them
commercial
an entire game.
Was 1 minute and 25 seconds long, which means it cost about $90 million.
For reference, the Smashing Machine costs twice as much.
Mm-hmm.
The movie Him, where a guy goes to a camp and plays football for 90 minutes, cost more than that.
Pokemon. Now, the DLC had a separate development budget.
Of what, $12?
And less, $9.5 million.
Okay. That's 3 of the movie Good Fortune. I mean, Good Fortune is 3 of those.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel gets paid that to be in Fast and Furious.
This is, I think, it is the biggest media franchise in the world. And one of the biggest video game franchises of all time.
It's in, every year it comes out, it's in the top 10 bestsellers.
Yeah. So, I no longer tolerate whatever the current excuse is. It's very clear and obvious at this point that they simply just do not care to invest
they don't.
in the
They don't
property.
want to. They just
At
have
all.
raw profit.
They absolutely, and you know what?
It is literally a money printing machine.
Beast of Ruination makes so much more sense now, given the context of Game Freak as a player in this game. If you remember, Beast of Ruination is the
Xbox game.
the Xbox game they're developing. I guarantee you that has a higher budget than $22 million.
No, it probably costs 4 Pokemons.
100%. And it looks much better. And I bet you it didn't spend that much longer in development.
No, but that doesn't have the biggest IP franchise in the world on it.
Yeah.
And so they have to try. Pokemon, they don't need to try.
I don't know what and you know what? I don't know what the dev budget was for Pow World, but I bet you it was probably less than this.
Oh, it was 100% less than that.
So there's no reason. There's no reason. None. There's none reasons. Doesn't make sense.
Pokemon,
They just don't care.
they could, if they want to, spend $700 million on the new game, and it would still be very, very, very profitable.
So
$22 million is literally like Control-C, Control-V, let's all go to lunch. That's what they're paying for.
So in addition to the budget leak, we also got some information on future Pokemon games they have in development. The next gen games, codenamed Gala, which is their proper release titles are actually the full-on logos for those are not particularly interesting. They appear to just the next games. We don't really know much about them specifically. What I do find interesting is the naming convention itself. You think Sun and Moon would have been Wind and Waves, since it takes place on
What
an
is the
archipelago?
wind game? Oh, it's in the air.
Well, the legendary will be a flying type,
Yeah, well, and they'll be in like a sky city.
and Waves
Waves, they'll be in the ocean.
islands.
They'll be in like Atlantis.
How would anyone? That's always there's always one that's just like clearly more.
Well, they'll be
interesting.
in like Atlantis. Be
Oh,
like
that- yeah,
underwater.
I
One
could
will be
see-
in the
yeah,
sky,
I
one
could
will be
see
underwater.
That makes sense.
And it's all water
But
type.
that's not the interesting one. The interesting game is codenamed Gaia. As far as I'm aware, does not have proper name.
Gaia is the Greek
Gaia is the Greek
titan of the earth.
Yes. Pokemon Project Seed.
Seeds are stuff you plant in the ground and they grow into plants.
Is a multi-region MMO Pokemon game.
Like
So-
Power World, but real.
Like Power World, but if Pokemon did it real this time. Which would explain to an extent why they've been so, I mean, always are, but so legalistically belligerent to Power World. Seed is a prototyping project for a next generation online playable by multiple people set in a region that connects Hoenn and Sinnoh. We also, from further leaks, know that it's all of the Japan regions. For those of you who don't know, Kanto is a real region of Japan. It was just originally the Pokemon games just took place like on Earth. There were just like some magical creatures there. And over time,
It's like Australia.
over time it became more apparent that that didn't make any sense anymore.
Right.
And it became like its own little world. But Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh are all just Japan. Those are just real life places in Japan that you go. This is just connecting them all together. A game out of that. Kitagami, they said, would also be part of this. That's one of the DLC areas. Scarlet and Violet, that also connected to Japan. So that is interesting. It's interesting to see them like try to compete.
Right.
But like, do I have any faith in them?
No.
No. Really. And we also learned that after X and Y, they fired their director due to some
He wanted to try.
higher-ups being upset that he was concentrating too much power within the company through himself, was saying no to too many things, wasn't playing ball with the leadership, and so they swapped him out. Current director.
For Studio Puppet number 2.
Yeah. Which has resulted in every game since X and Y being
Blah.
qualityless. Yeah. That X and Y was the last Pokemon game that felt like,
Someone had an idea.
yeah, like there was a direction behind it, like that there was some vision. Okay. A little part of me died in one of the reviews for Pokemon ZA. And I'll tell you exactly, and it sounds small, and it is small. It's not important. But it showed me, more than anything else, the difference in direction that Pokemon is in now compared to where they were back when X and Y was developed. There was a moment in the first trailer for X and Y where the main character is strolling around his hometown. He's just around, walking around, having a good old time outdoors in the Pokemon world, and he sits on a bench. And he sits on the bench, and the camera angle shifts. And to me, as a kid who had played Black and White 2, a little bit of the games from before that, something that always I thought was funny is that you couldn't sit in any of the chairs in the 2D games.
Mm-hmm.
You just couldn't do it. So in the X and Y trailer, when he sat down in a chair, I was like, oh, that's cool. You can like sit down in the chairs. That doesn't mean anything gameplay wise. It's just like, oh, that's cool that they like can do that now. That didn't need to be in the game. Just for vibes, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Legends ZA, you know what you can't do in all the benches? Some of them you can.
Sit on them.
Not all the benches you can. Why?
It was too much.
How?
It's too much work.
How?
Had to program the animation in.
How have we come to what? No, you can sit in some of them to give them some credit.
Well,
But like, we already figured this out.
it's a lot of work,
We
man.
figured you guys solved this in 2013.
But we could go to lunch earlier if we just did it.
You guys had bench technology in 2013. insane.
But the bench technology was on.
It's the same city.
But
It takes place in the same
I'm
city.
gonna break the microphone.
It's in the same place. The benches don't work anymore. It's the same city.
But
And the city's not even that much bigger.
hold on. If we did it for all of them, I wouldn't be able to go home at 3, and far goes on.
Many Pokemon games as well, since X and Y. New traversal mechanic. X and Y notably being the first. Do you remember the unique traversal mechanic? You because it
Was it the fast travel system?
no, it was the roller skates.
Oh, I remember those.
Remember, you could use the
Yeah,
joystick,
those
you
were
skate
fun.
around. You were a little bit faster than running. In Sun and Moon, you could summon ride Pokemon, and you could like run really fast on the bull. And all of them have some unique way of traversing. Special traversal technique is
Razor Scooter.
have like a double jump.
That's cool. This game costs how many millions of dollars?
Counting the DLC, it costs you 100 and which is day one, by the way.
Awesome.
So the game is just
Very
$130.
cool.
The budget for the game, ZA is estimate. This one isn't 100% locked because the leak is from before the game came out.
You know what this does explain?
$13 million.
That's awesome. You know what this does explain, though? You know how they made that one live-action Pokemon movie in 2019, and they've just not done that again?
Mm-hmm.
That movie cost 6 Pokemon games.
And it definitely didn't make as much.
No. So that's why they don't do anything else.
If it does not have
They just make
a
another game.
70% profit margin,
Yeah.
they just won't do it.
They just, why? What's the point?
Which, for context, Legend ZA, that is $1 million less than RC. 14 million. Which is still not even a
So you know what
budget.
it was?
That's an Aglet budget.
You know what that was then? Arceus didn't meet whatever their sales projection was. And so they were like, lower that budget.
But it sold like 70 million units or something like that.
If it costs $1 million less, it sells
made
the
them-
same amount.
It made them more than any other Pokemon spin-off ever had. How much do you think Pokemon? You know what?
But Sam, it could have been more profitable if we put even less money and time into it. Just think about that. Because the reason that one cost more was because they needed to try a little bit extra on that one to get you to sink in, to get you on board. Once they got you on board with the Legends brand, they don't need to try. It's like with the original Red and Blue. Try on that one. Once they're hooked, phone it in. Phone it in for 35 years.
But that's the thing is they like weren't phoning it in back then.
Exactly, because they had to try. They don't have to try now.
Not even just red, blue, and green, but like gold and silver were like meaningful, massive improvements.
Because they had that disgusting leech who had ideas and wanted to do things.
Now, to be fair,
and he wasn't entirely focused.
He directed Ruby and Sapphire up until X and Y.
Either way, they probably had a guy still there who had ideas and wanted to do something good. You get him out of the way, smooth sailing, the committee's happy, everyone's collecting a big old check, everything's great. And you don't got any of those pesky creatives that in the way.
Sword and
Phone
Shield,
it in, same old thing, over. Don't
Sword
try.
and Shield, by the way,
Cheap.
budget of $16.5 million.
That's insane. That's insane how low that is. Like, that's nothing. That's no money.
And like I would say, oh well, maybe it started as a 3DS game and then they made it a Switch. No, because that would have been more expensive.
Like the budget of a Terrifier sequel.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Almost.
They're going to spend more on Terrifier 4 than they spent on the last Pokemon game.
If this doesn't get more confusing, Sword and Shield came out. I'll count the DLCs. I'll give them some grace. No, screw it. $16 million budget. 17 rounding up. $17 million budget, right? Legends Arceus, we drop it by 2 for 14. Okay, it's a spin-off, I guess, but like these should be in the hundreds of. sense. Scarlet and Violet bump up to 22, and it runs infinitely worse.
Yep.
How?
Don't ask me.
How does this happen? How does this happen?
Okay.
What is happening in Game Freak?
Sir, my yacht gets here on Tuesday. I don't care.
Like,
I have to buy a beach house.
it doesn't even make sense for this to be incompetence.
No, it's not incompetence.
It doesn't.
It is.
But it doesn't make sense for it to be
intentional.
profit either.
It is.
But then why'd they raise the Scarlet and Violet budget?
Because probably they were playing with new tech.
What new tech?
Well, okay, they raised the Scarlet and Violet budget because it was like an expansion.
How? It runs worse. It looks worse.
It runs worse.
It's creatively worse.
Hold on.
What is better about it?
Hold on. The whole open world aspect of it.
The thing they did in Arceus?
True, but it was bigger in
Yeah,
Scarlet.
they just stitched the zones together.
That probably
It's not different.
Okay, but you got to keep in mind this development team is like still using the same base code from like the Nintendo DS.
Apparently.
So they had to spend a little bit more on that one to figure out how to get that to work.
But then they didn't.
They got it to.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on.
They increased the budget.
Keep in mind.
But they didn't even do the thing they increased the budget
keep
for.
in mind. Get it to work is like the game launches. So they had to get the game to launch.
But it didn't even do that on launch day. There was a day one patch because it kept crashing. Like, why not just keep the budget at 15
then
mil? What did you get for raising
maybe
it?
that day one patch is what all that extra money was
if
for.
they had raised it to 50 million,
right,
and the game was like still had major problems, I'd be like, okay, clearly this is a dev team. But like, they raised the budget just enough to fix problems and caused just enough new problems for none of it to make any sense.
maybe one guy got a raise.
Who? The director they fired? Who?
One of the producers.
I guess the new director?
Yeah.
Like,
maybe the one before met like a good sales milestone and he got a raise.
and like, Scarlet and Violet didn't have like a crazy amount of new Pokemon. It's not like they put a ton of work into that.
I
The
would
region
bet
design was like, okay.
I would bet it was a tech thing. Like they couldn't get it to run well. And so they spent money they weren't planning on spending getting it to run at all.
Yeah, I could see that. But then again, like, I don't understand how it ran so much worse than Arceus. I didn't have really any issues with Arceus in terms of like the game running. There's some popping, but like every game on the Switch has some popping.
I don't know.
And then you drop it again for ZA?
Yeah, well, they didn't have to
Why?
do as much because they got it to run. They got it to run
I just like
on Scarlet and Violet, so it's fine.
it just none of it like they invented an entire new like way of battling for that game. All the character animations are like actually properly done. There are like cutscenes where the characters move. If you remember any of the cutscenes in Sword and Shield, you might remember that they weren't.
Right.
It would just cut to black, and then whatever the thing that happened was, a guy would just say that thing happened. There were no cutscenes aside from the opening cutscene.
Sold like 50 million copies, by the way.
Yeah. So like, I just like, what?
Good questions. Any other leak information that we want to touch on?
Yeah, let me.
Because we do have to take a break. I do have to stop recording at some point.
Yeah, so have some like gameplay leaks. Those are not particular. Oh, the next Legends game. Well,
right.
Could give me what region do you think would make sense to be a Legends game? Let me, before you answer, I'll give you some that we know have some like deep history that takes place in the past. The Sinnoh region has history that takes place.
Well, wasn't that
before
Arceus?
Arceus, yeah, but there's history that well before then that's equally interesting, not more interesting than what we got in the game. The Unova has some really interesting lore with the original dragon and the two brothers and the truth and ideals stuff that they talk about all the time in the dialogue of the game.
And the American Civil War.
The American Civil War, of course.
Which I'm sure happened.
The Galar region, we know that the dogs were like heroes and a bunch of battles.
Do like swords and sandals, that kind of thing. Fun.
I'm sure Johto had like the temples that burned down. And
right.
Something you could do something there.
Okay. But low key though, I'm just spitballing here. What if, hear me out, Kanto again?
So, no, not quite.
Oh.
It is the Galar one, actually.
Oh.
It takes place 1,000 years before the game.
Okay.
My question is though, like, why though? Why that one's like the least.
Swords and knights and stuff.
Swords and knights and stuff, yeah. But like, they're not gonna do that.
Armor.
No.
Old England stuff.
Here's what it'll be though. You'll be like some peasant.
I like being a peasant in real life. Why would I hate it in game?
Also, I don't know if this even hit your radar. I don't even know. There's another Pokemon game coming out next year.
What? The mainline one?
No. Spin-off. You know what the plot of that one is?
Is this the one that tracks your sleep?
No.
It's the one that tracks how I brush my teeth?
No, not quite.
Is this one that tracks my bowel movements?
So if you could imagine like another video game that you think would potentially would mesh well with Pokemon, like spitball me an idea. Like what's a game you think, oh, that with Pokemon would be cool?
I don't know. I think Pokemon and like Tomb Raider.
Great idea. That could be cool. Have like a Houndoom that you raid temples with or something. That's a great idea. What if it's Minecraft?
Oh, I know what that is.
And what if you were a Ditto that was a guy, like in disguise as a human guy?
That I would ask,
and you also grow a farm.
That I would
also Stardew Valley for some reason.
That I would call my dealer and I would ask him what was in this weed.
That's real. That's the next Pokemon game.
All right.
You're a Ditto who comes across a dead human child.
I think we need
and shapeshifts into that dead child.
I think we need to have
and runs a farm with your friends.
Or the dead child's friends.
And it's also somehow Minecraft.
Okay. I think we need to figure out how much of those Pokemon game budgets are being spent on cocaine. That might be why the budgets are going up.
What is this game called? Pokepia. Pokemon Pokepia is the name of the game. Coming out in 2026.
Is it Pokopia?
Pokopia, yeah. Yeah. You're a Ditto who finds this like child's body in like a cave. And then it turns into this child. And then it runs a farm with Bulbasaur. And it's also Minecraft.
Why are you a Ditto? Why aren't you just a child? Is it weirder if you're a Ditto pretending to?
So I think the mechanic reason is because you copy the abilities of the Pokemon, and that's how you like get new abilities to like farm or whatever.
Okay.
So like,
do I need Pokemon abilities to grow corn?
Why not just be a human who has the Pokemon with them and then?
Yeah, and then they use that would be fun and cute.
And also, you can like terraform the terrain like Minecraft. Like you can mine the walls
and
things.
I mean, probably because the Pokemon company just figured out yesterday that Pokemon is popular.
I guess really it's
Minecraft,
similar to Animal Crossing, but
yeah, it's Animal Crossing.
But also, I'm Ditto Kid.
I like
Why
to be
am I Ditto Kid?
I want to be Ditto Kid.
And why does his face look like that?
Because it's Ditto.
What's his?
Well, this has been a really good episode for everyone crashing out.
Yeah, this is the Sam crashes out about Pokemon episode. Yeah, and like more so I think than ever before.
Yeah.
Because I've never had less faith.
You will play the new one. It's gonna happen.
I might play like the new whatever one is after ZA.
If someone gives it to you, you'll play it. If I get it for Christmas,
then like I'll play it.
Exactly.
But like I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna ask someone to get it. If someone gives it to me, I'll probably play it. But like I'm not gonna out.
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah, we'll take a break.
We're gonna take a quick break.
Go to the bathroom.
And then we're gonna do our Halloween stuff. Sam, We are in the Halloween season. Well, really the tail end of the Halloween season. I love Halloween. I was going to wear a costume for today's episode, but I couldn't get it in time. So that's not going to happen. Instead, I'm wearing a Beetlejuice t-shirt.
Oh, what were you going to be?
I'm going to get a Bob Ferguson outfit.
What? Huh?
I'm going to get a Bob Ferguson
costume. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be Nanami from Jujutsu Kaisen.
I don't know what that means. But anyway, I love Halloween. I love Halloween movies in particular. It's a great time of year for horror fans, people who love orange.
This guy.
Well, that's fun. You're gonna get suspenders.
And I have the pants. I got the shirt and the suspenders. He's not a hard character to beat.
Yeah.
When I'm not hunched over, I can pull it off.
Anyway, I thought it would be fun this Halloween to put together the Mount Rushmore of Halloween movies.
Oh, we have an update on the GameStop picture. They
more AI.
Started,
the White House.
Yeah,
they're just doing their like we love Trump.
They're doing
thing.
their thing. They gotta pay the kowtow.
Don't want to get sued. Anyway, Sam, I thought it'd be fun to put together.
The AI did generate the right amount of stripes on the flag, though. It's impressive. Anyway, continue.
The Mount Rushmore of Halloween movies. Now, I want to be clear. These are not the four best movies. Like, these are not
just the ones that are
four in terms of quality
that represent the holiday.
This is the collective four that together represent
Yeah.
Halloween movies. I have a short list of just ones I've come up with. They don't necessarily have to be from this list. If you have anything else you want to add on, it's perfectly okay. I think going into this, there is only one shoe-in. There's only one where I think it kind of has to be on there.
I mean, Halloween.
That's from 1978.
It's not really fair.
That's the George Washington of the lineup.
Should we have 5?
No, it's Mount Rushmore's 4.
But that one's it's like that really only gives us 3 to play around with.
Well, how many do you want to play around with?
Well, 4 because it's the Mount Rushmore. But
well, what if Halloween doesn't make the list?
Wins.
There is an argument for Halloween not making the list.
Is there?
Have you ever seen the original Halloween?
No.
Because it's not a very Halloween vibey movie. It's really just Halloween. Like its relationship is like 90% the title.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of the other ones are Halloween.
There are other ones that are even, like play into the holiday even more.
Should we? Does the franchise count, or are we picking individual movies?
I think we're more looking at the individual movies. I think if we're gonna put, for example, Nightmare on Elm Street on there, like that's really gonna sit in for like all of them, because we're not gonna go like, okay, we're gonna put Halloween's 1, 2, 3, and then another movie. Like if Halloween's on there, that's gonna be the Halloween movie for the Mount Rushmore. Mm-hmm. It's the same way we never put multiple Roosevelts on the Mount Rushmore, right? If we had FDR or Teddy in there, the other one wouldn't be on there. We will soon have 5 spots on Mount Rushmore, though. Let's just be real. That's gonna happen. Anyway, Sam, this is the short list. So I have Halloween from 1978. I have Hotel Transylvania, Nightmare on Elm Street, Trick or Treat, which the Blu-ray of is sitting right next to you. Hocus Pocus, A Nightmare Before Christmas, Scream. One that's kind of sneakily.
Well, I feel like we shouldn't read off a list because then we'll only be thinking about those. I have a list here.
Oh, you have your own. Okay. Yeah. I think we have to lock in Halloween. That's gonna get on there.
I feel like it's a lock.
Even if it's not the most vibey with the holiday. I mean, that is so many people watch that every Halloween season. Michael Myers is synonymous with the holiday.
Yeah.
The poster, if nothing else, is an iconic
I feel like
image.
out of all the slashers, that's gotta be the Halloween one.
I think that should be the only slasher on the list.
Although I do feel that Scream is more vibey. It does fit the vibe of Halloween more, but it just isn't as iconic.
I think Scream.
It can't be a parody of a genre. I feel like it's gotta be the core of the genre.
Scream's a more popular movie.
Yeah.
Like, especially amongst
now
amongst the youngins.
So for some reason this year on TikTok, like the Scream guy has become like the male thirst trap thing to do.
Weird, because it's just a black robe.
Well, no, it's just the mask and then there's like a ripped guy.
All right.
That's become the meta.
Half of them are women. That's just all I'm saying.
But this is the mask and then a ripped guy. Plus the girls are like, you can imagine anyone under there.
It's true. I think there's an argument for Scream. I know a lot of people who that's their like favorite of the slashers is Scream, which I understand. Although I think like Halloween started it. That's the most correlated to the holiday. So I think that one's gonna take the place of
Honorable mentions like Friday the 13th.
yeah, but that's more of a summer movie. Takes place at a summer camp.
Hasn't really had the staying
Candyman, good try. I don't think it's just simply not as big.
power. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Another summer-ish one. That's not really.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I think Nightmare there's an argument for. I mean, Freddy's an iconic image.
Yeah.
You see him every Halloween. It's just such a unique concept.
But
It's such a good movie. But
none of them really do anything different than Halloween, except for maybe Nightmare on Elm Street.
yeah.
But even then,
Structurally they're the same movie.
the same thing is happening.
Right.
And if we're gonna pick one to represent Halloween,
You gotta go Halloween.
it's gotta be Halloween.
Okay.
So
Halloween's locked in.
Let's move on.
This is where it gets tricky, because where do we
So-
go from here?
I think there's another like insta lock,
Okay.
and I think it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown.
I was gonna put that on the short list. Is that a movie?
How long is it?
It's like a half hour. It's a TV special. It's not feature length.
Yeah, it's not really a movie.
And if we do it, then we have to include TV specials too. And I don't know.
But is it so iconic that it just gets to break the rules?
It is the most iconic of all of them. I mean, it's just this song.
Okay.
The music from that is synonymous with the holiday.
When we're saying it represents Halloween, though,
Right.
are we saying it represents the like Platonian notion of Halloween, or like Halloween as it is now? Because I would argue the version of Halloween we see in that special kind of died in like, especially after COVID. And maybe it's just because like we're adults now.
I mean, mine's a little more subjective. Where it's
But
just
every
like
year there's less and less trick-or-treaters.
that's true.
And without that,
What is Halloween even at that point? I think we should not gauge what is or isn't Halloween as a comparison to how people celebrate it today. I think
so Platonian.
honestly, I think
perfect Halloween
if there was a thing where
vision,
we're like, this is definitively what Halloween is,
it would be this.
It would be It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie
That's
Brown.
what's like Halloween as its perfect form
Yeah.
is just its proximity to the Great Pumpkin.
That
Charlie
is
Brown.
like what the Peanut specials are.
Yeah.
Or like solidified,
They
set in
are-
stone. This is Christmas, Halloween, and Thanksgiving.
I would say there's of course A Christmas Carol, which is the definitive book defining
correct.
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas
and
is a
right
Christmas Carol.
after that
It's Charlie Brown.
is Charlie Brown in terms of defining what it means
Yeah.
to be Christmas.
You could maybe make an argument for It's a Wonderful Life, but even that, like, that's a little bit even more of a universal story than Christmas.
Yeah,
Story.
that's not even. Yeah, that could apply, and that could be any day of the year.
Yeah.
So
Do we want to
are we
include it?
disqualifying it? You know what? I don't think.
Then
it's
we're down to two
I
spots.
have a compromise.
Okay.
It's the Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown isn't on the mountain. It is the mountain that we carve.
Right, is the mountain.
Like, what's the mountain that we carved the Mount Rushmore into?
Oh, don't ask. I don't know, man.
It had some Native American name. This is that. This is the mountain that we are carving the
This is
faces
the
into.
well from which all Halloween originates from.
Yeah, it's
or Halloween
the font
media.
of Halloween.
Because it was actually like one of the first pieces of
Halloween media.
Halloween media. It was in the 60s. I mean, like, that's Halloween.
Yeah.
The original Halloween didn't come out until 1978.
There
there was the old
notions of Halloween.
there
before
were
that.
scary movies and monster movies and that kind of thing, but in terms of like Halloween depicted on screen, like,
Even
this
Halloween as
was
a
pretty early
holiday
on.
is a very recent holiday.
Especially
There's-
the way we celebrate it now.
There's All's Hallowed Eve, which is the loose holiday that Halloween is a derivative of. Even that was never really a big deal.
Well,
It was a Catholic thing, but even they didn't really care.
which
that
was
much about
based
it.
on the
All
pagan.
Souls Day.
Yeah, and then that was
And then
from
this was the opposite.
Samhain, which
Yeah.
was the Celtic like Day of the Dead barrier
Yeah.
breaking down
And
thing,
then there's Dia de los Muertos, which is
which
I
was a
think
Hispanic thing, which is probably
the
where
closest contemporary parallel.
Where modern Halloween probably stole
Most
the most
of the
from.
traditions of Halloween were from Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
That said, and at least in terms of the American contemporary understanding of Halloween, I think Charlie Brown is the most definitive work.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people look to. That's what people watch every year. That's... I got a rock to the trick-or-treating of it all, bobbing for apples. Like, that's all.
And that joke always hits.
Never gets old.
That's like one of the best jokes ever written.
I mean, it's amazing.
Because, like, why did he get a rock? That's not a thing.
They just hate him.
No one's ever done that.
How would they even know it's him under the sheet?
Exactly. Like, that makes no sense.
I think it's like... It's amazing how those specials are like literally crystallized into perfection. Where
yeah. No, and like...
They just can't be touched.
I would argue that rock joke, especially... the whole special, I think, has only gotten better with age. Like, the whole humor of The Great Pumpkin is such a, like a brain...
Well, it's
like,
such a...
It's not a... It doesn't make it... Like, why would he believe that?
It's such a weird thing to put in a special in the 60s.
Yeah.
Where it's just... Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. It's so weird. And, like, the Red Baron of it all, like, the absurdity of dressing up as, like, that particular World War II fighter pilot.
That's so, like...
That's a reference that was niche then. Like,
yeah.
Everyone knew that was a World War II... Like,
now
I mean,
it's
that's
not even... People don't even recognize that as
People don't even know that was a real thing.
They just recognize that as that weird thing that Snoopy does in the Halloween special.
Yeah. All right. Okay,
All right.
We're not doing Great Pumpkin because it's not feature length. I can't consider it.
So then I think the next obvious one is A Nightmare Before Christmas.
And which is going to bring us to the debate.
Yeah.
Which is this a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
But it's a Halloween movie.
It's a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
I think pretty definitively it came out in October.
It looks way more Halloween-y than it looks Christmassy.
And the Halloween stuff plays into the story. I mean, obviously, like, them taking over Christmas is the whole thing, but it's making Christmas Halloween.
Isn't taking over Halloween.
No,
exactly. Yeah,
it's Halloween through and through. The whole vibe of the movie. It's Tim Burton. The designs. The main character's a skeleton man.
You know what?
The opening song is "This Is Halloween."
Is there a Tim Burton movie that you couldn't make a case for being on this list?
Well, there are ones that would not make the Mount Rushmore. They're all Halloween vibe.
That you couldn't hear someone out on, like, yeah, Batman could be on the list.
Yeah, you could watch Batman around Halloween.
Yeah, like I don't think there's any Tim Burton movies that you could really be like, no, that can't be here.
Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
But even that's like kind of weird.
Dumbo.
He did Dumbo?
The live action Dumbo.
Okay, maybe that's the only one.
Maybe that one. Yeah, no, I think you're right. It's a weird thing where I don't think It's a Nightmare Before Christmas is even a movie we talk about if it weren't for Halloween.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously that's a weird thing to say because the whole movie is based on holidays.
But take every single movie that studio has made.
But that movie isn't very good. Like, the only reason it's become a cultural thing is because every year around the holiday, Disney assaults us with Nightmare Before Christmas merchandise.
And as far as designs go, bro, they did not miss. Every single character design in that movie is perfect.
No, and I mean, if
Jack Skellington, that guy's freaking Halloween. That guy, he just looks like Halloween.
Oogie Boogie too.
Oogie Boogie, that guy, perfect.
Literally, if you walk down the street corner, you will
perfect.
see Nightmare Before Christmas inflatables in someone's front yard.
Yeah, the ghost dog, perfect.
Yeah, Pluto.
The freaking 3 weird little goober kids that like throw stuff at people, perfect. And they capture so many disparate parts of Halloween and they unify them so well. I would say it almost is a more contemporary Halloween depiction than Charlie Brown is. At least closer to like how we celebrate it today.
And I think having a movie with Christmas in the title in the Halloween Mount Rushmore does kind of get to the point or a aspect of Halloween and all major holidays, which is these are all really a build up to Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas is the holiday. All of these are like fun little diatribes, little hints,
I will say,
little nuggets.
I think Halloween almost serves as like a opposite coin, like the other face of the coin.
Yeah, it exists
Christmas.
because in 2 months we'll be doing the opposite of Halloween.
Yeah,
we'll be out in the day.
Whereas Halloween is about scary dead things pranking you.
Yeah.
Christmas is about
tricks or
happy,
treats.
fun, nice people doing nice things.
Well, it's like trick or treat. It's or what Trick or Treat was originally. Like,
okay, though.
Give us a thing, or we'll do something mean. Christmas is like, do a nice thing.
Did originally have it where like the peasants would go around and like demand things from the rich people or shoot them. That was part of the holiday.
Should bring that back. No, but like that's a part of it.
That's where you know the
It's all
some
Christmas.
figgy pudding.
Yeah,
That's what that is supposed to be a reference to.
Right.
The fact that originally the Christmas carolers were not really going to sing; they would go and demand things from you. You'd have to bring it to them, or they would do bad things to you.
I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Nightmare Before Christmas fan, but
yeah,
it's definitely it's become such a part of it now, especially today.
Yeah, I would say it's.
I mean, they reworked the whole Haunted Mansion ride every year at Disneyland.
It kind of fits the like corporate representation. I mean, these are all going to be very like heavy.
No, I mean these have all been marketed.
But this is like I
hell.
think more so than any of the others.
Where it's like industry plant
Yeah.
movie.
like I see this almost in the same way as like Elf, right? Like it's everywhere during that. Like you see it everywhere.
But Elf is a good movie.
Elf is a better movie.
Yeah.
But in the same sense that it's like every store you go into, the first thing you will see in the Christmas or Halloween section of things will be stuff from one of those movies.
And it's like it's the normie Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Whereas the same way Elf is the normie Christmas movie.
I think whereas Charlie Brown depicts how Halloween manifests in our real world.
Yeah.
This depicts the space that Halloween comes from.
Yeah.
Like
where inside of us.
All the decorations that are Halloween direct like stuff, the whole aesthetic of Halloween harkens to this world that looks this way. And I think that representation of the space that Halloween looks, the aesthetic of Halloween, I think that's got to be on the mount.
Okay. In the third spot, I have a couple of ideas, a couple directions we could go.
Mm-hmm.
I have Ghostbusters. I think
Ghostbusters.
I think the thing with Ghostbusters is that are you putting it on there because of the movie or are you putting it on there because of the song?
But I don't think it matters.
Is the song alone enough to get it onto that list?
I mean, this song wouldn't exist without the movie.
That is true. But are we watching Ghostbusters at Halloween or are we listening to the soundtrack?
I mean, we usually watch it around Halloween.
But there's also nothing in that movie that's Halloween-y at all.
That's true.
It's in New York. It came out in the summer. It was a summer blockbuster. There's no fall imagery in it, really.
No.
The ghosts aren't scary. They're comedic. It's a comedy. It's not even really a horror movie in any way.
But Halloween is a holiday. Is a very goofy holiday. Like, yeah, it is scary sometimes, but like, really, most of the time on Halloween, it's goofy. You and your friends are dressing goofy and acting goofy. You're not like I mean, some people do, but like usually you're not going out of your way to like scare people.
But there's no costumes, there's no candy.
Yeah, I feel like it's a Halloween movie to us, but I don't know that it would be to everyone.
If you didn't grow up watching it at Halloween,
yeah,
there would never be any pressure to do so. Like there was never anything where it's like, well, this is a Halloween movie.
But at the same time, when else would you watch? When else would you rewatch Ghostbusters?
Any time of the year.
But it wouldn't hit the same.
It does.
If you rewatch Ghostbusters in January, you're going to be like, what am I doing?
I think it's a good enough comedy on its own to where you could.
I don't know. It's got something to it.
I don't think because you're putting it on there because every Halloween playlist has the Ghostbusters song on it.
But every Halloween playlist has This Is Halloween, This Is Halloween.
But we put that on Mount Rushmore. But the thing is, though, is like, would we have the Ghostbusters song on the Halloween playlists if there was literally any other Halloween music to put on there? It's less of it because that song is very Halloween-y and more because there's a lack of other Halloween music to take its place.
Yeah, and that song does play year round at the McDonald's off the road that we live off of, and like I've never really understood why, but that it does play year round there for some reason. Um,
I'm not gonna put it on there.
yeah, I guess it's not really a Halloween movie.
I'm not putting that one on there. Other ones I have Adam's Family from 1991.
I do like Adam's Family from 1991, but is it a Halloween movie?
I think it is. I think that one is just like, is the movie big enough?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
The IP is big,
Wednesday's big.
but that movie's not big.
Yeah,
People
and-
don't talk about that movie. They talk about the Addams Family like characters.
Like Addams Family recently had a huge explosion, but before then, it was like a niche thing that like we talk about when we compare it to the Munsters.
Right.
It wasn't like the definitive Halloween family thing,
Mm-hmm.
which it is now. Sort of. Well, no, because you know what? They released the animated movie on Halloweenish around time, and everyone was like, no.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge hit.
Yeah, no one cared. So I don't know if we can say. I don't think it's done enough to be a Halloween. It is a good movie. I love that movie.
Great movie.
But it's just not big enough.
And on the other kind of the same other side of the same coin, Hotel Transylvania, I put on my short list. Any of those really?
You know what?
If you were to turn on a cable channel, they're airing every Halloween season nonstop.
I think Hotel Transylvania has a better case.
I think it might too.
Because you know what?
And that's mostly because it's more recent.
That's true. But also that doesn't mean it's like, so what? Just because it's doing a better job of representing Halloween and it's more recent, that doesn't mean it shouldn't be there. Right? Also, it's not that recent. When did they come out? Like 2012?
Mm-hmm.
That's...
Well,
13 years
in
ago?
comparison to the other movies we have on this list,
Yeah,
which
they're
are
all
from
like 80s,
1978 and the 1990s.
But like every year, I see people dress up as Mavis and boyfriend character.
Correct. But is that a trend that's going to go away, or is that just going to be like
It's still around. That movie's 13 years old. People do dress up as the Addams Family, but it's only ever for one of two reasons. One, because they like Wednesday, or two, because they are 40 and they remember the 90s movie, but they're also 40. And so are they really doing Halloween stuff? Probably not.
Do you think Hotel Transylvania is going to live past the people who were kids when it came out?
I think it
Is this a movie that 10-year-olds will be watching in 2035?
Kids are watching it in 2025. It's 13 years
But
old.
there was also like that franchise was still going. Like the franchise is over effectively now. So like if they don't keep making new stuff, will it still be like a thing?
Maybe, but like I think that's a conversation for a future Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
I feel like modern day Mount Rushmore, it's on there.
You want to put Hotel Transylvania on the Halloween Mount Rushmore?
I feel like we should pin it. And
put
then
a star
if we
next to
can't,
it.
Yeah, if we can't find anything better, I feel like that should be there. Because I don't want to say it's up there because I don't think it has the staying power. I think that is its main weakness. But if we can't find anything that fits the shoe better, then I don't see why not. Like there's nothing it does egregiously wrong that would disqualify it.
Okay, I have one on here that is not big for us, but I know is really big for a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
I have Hocus Pocus on here.
See, that's a tricky one. Because it wasn't big when it came out.
But it's a huge thing now.
But yeah, for some reason, it is huge now.
And that is because I saw it for the first time this year. I watched it.
Still have never seen
You've never
it.
seen it.
I don't really want to watch it.
I watched it for the first time this year because it's just been such a thing every Halloween. I was like, I probably
seems to get bigger every time.
I probably need to check this out. It's a very Halloween movie, which is funny because I looked it up. It bombed when it came out. It came out in like July.
Yeah, terrible time.
I was like, well, duh, guys. Come on, man. What are we thinking here?
Obvious blunder.
Because the whole thing is seeped in Halloween. Everything is orange and yellow.
It takes place on Halloween.
It takes place on Halloween. It's a small New England town at night. There's talking black cats. There's witches. There's cackling. There's zombies. There's everything. It's everything Halloween.
Very Halloween-y.
It might have the most Halloween vibes of the movies we put on this Mount Rushmore.
But speaking of Halloween-y, is Halloween-y on the Mount Rushmore?
What is Halloween?
the movie about the ghost, the dog.
Oh, Frankenweenie?
Frankenweenie.
That's not on the list.
Frankenweenie on
I
the
put it on the short list. It's not going on the list.
Why is it on the short list?
I put a lot of stuff on the short list.
Anyway, continue.
I think we have to put Hocus Pocus. This has to be our selfless pick.
Yeah.
This is our...
What? I think almost for the opposite reason of Hotel Transylvania, where like it should have died.
But it didn't, because people love it. And because it's so tied into the holiday. Yeah. I think a key thing with these is like there's so many horror movies, which are so exclusively for like older teens and adults, where the real Halloween stuff, when do you love Halloween? When does Halloween really mean something to you? It's when you're like 10.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of Halloween movies that you can watch when you're 10 years old, at least not to the same amount of like as there's Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Every Christmas movie you can watch is basically accessible for a 10-year-old. There's like maybe 10 kid-friendly Halloween movies. Mm-hmm. So the kid-friendly ones are going to really cement themselves because that's the ones that the people who really celebrate the holiday are going to watch every year. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's 2 spots for kid-friendly movie. Or no, wait. This would be our final spot.
No, because we haven't settled in on Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, right. I penciled it in. Okay.
All right. Let me.
Hocus Pocus in the 3.
Yeah, I think it fits. I think it goes. I think especially now. I don't know if it would have fit 5 years ago.
But it's so.
But I think now it's become. It almost. In the. I'm trying to think of like a Christmas movie comparison, but I think really the closest is
Christmas Vacation
is a Miracle on 34th Street. No. The we were just talking about it. The one where he like goes to the alternate universe where he like didn't exist.
Oh, It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Where it came out in the summer, it didn't do well, it bombed. And then later, when it was easily accessible to everyone through, in this case, cable or on TV, but nowadays streaming, it had a huge resurgence and it became entrenched in the holiday.
Yeah.
I think it's basically It's a Wonderful Life of Halloween.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Now, wild pitch. I bet this isn't even.
Okay, well, we have 1 spot left.
Spooky Buddies.
Okay. Has anyone seen that?
Dude, that demon dog was scary.
Oh, I forgot we saw that.
Yeah. Remember when?
Remember when the dog prays.
Mm-hmm. And the dog is so evil that it like doesn't work. It kills the guy.
I can't say it's on the list.
I don't think it's on the list, but
it's a fun one to put on.
I'm gonna say, I think it's underrated. I think as a kid, hang on.
This movie you haven't seen since you were 7 years old.
We saw it when we were like 14 or 15. Like we didn't see it.
We were not teenagers. We watched Spooky Buddies.
We were like 12 or 13. We were not that young.
You might have been 12. I was like 8.
No, but okay. We were definitely old enough that like we could discern what is good and bad in terms of movies.
You were more so than me.
Yeah.
Because you were older.
But I will say, as a kid's horror movie, it's like really solid. It has some like actual scary stuff.
Spooky Buddies.
Hang on. There is some actually scary stuff
called Spooky
for a
Buddies.
kid's movie. The dog murders like lots of guys in that movie. I just remember the dog being so viciously
I do
violent.
remember the dog killing people.
It kills like a lot of people, and it looks scary, and it's threatening. And one of the characters is a ghost of a dog that he killed. By the way,
that's true.
That's insane. Cool. I mean, like, what other kids movie is what other kids movie is moving like that? No one's got that kind of motion. I don't think it should be on the list. I just wanted to give it a shout out because I feel like it's not getting the appreciation it should around this time of year. I feel like it has more potential than it's been given.
Okay. We really got to nail down this 4th spot. We've put a pin in Hotel Transylvania.
Casper.
Casper?
What do we think about Casper? I've never seen Casper.
Do we want 3 kids movies on the list?
I suppose not.
That's why I'm leaning more towards straight horror. or at least something that's a little more adult. Beetlejuice is one I consider.
Beetlejuice is solid.
Beetlejuice, but that is...
It doesn't seem...
It's like, where does the movie stop and the character begin?
Yeah.
Where it's like the look of Beetlejuice is very Halloween.
But nothing in the movie.
But no one talks about the movie. Everyone talks about the character.
You know what? When have you ever seen a Beetlejuice Halloween decoration?
I've never seen the decoration.
Me neither.
I don't even think I've seen a costume in real life.
Only person I've seen do Beetlejuice costume was Trisha Paytas. And that does not count. So I don't think it can.
I don't think it makes the cut.
I think no, I just don't think it does. I think it's too... Didn't the last one come out over the summer?
Came out in September, but it was not...
Yeah, that's not close enough.
It was a big hit, but... we know we're talking about it now. I mean, It was like it came and went. Have Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp.
Oh. I feel like there's an obvious one we're missing.
Well, I have more, but I'm going to work my way there.
Well, I feel like there's a specific genre.
Okay, well, what do you got?
With a very clear patriarch that we've neglected here. I think Dracula has got to be there.
The original Dracula from 1931?
Yeah.
Or 1929?
I think it's...
That's... Okay, you brought up a good point. Which is just like any of the Universal Monsters stuff.
And he's the top guy.
It's a good argument.
Because remember, this isn't the best.
It's the most Halloween.
And you can't have a Hotel Transylvania without a Dracula.
That's so true. And it would represent all of them in a way, like Frankenstein.
Because they all kind of
Mummy
feed off that same juice.
These are not movies that anyone below the age of 60 is watching.
That's true. But
every piece of Halloween media since these have aped something off of them.
And you know what? Everyone knows George Washington. Everyone knows Thomas Jefferson. Most people know Teddy Roosevelt. No one gives a crap about Andrew Jackson. He was a president, though.
And he's on Mount Rushmore.
I think this is our Andrew Jackson. He's like...
Doesn't everyone hate Andrew Jackson?
No one still talks about Andrew Jackson, but he's up there.
And he's important.
And he did do a lot of... He did kick all the natives out. That's not great, but he did do that.
Hey, that's an important part of history.
Very big moment in our history.
Dracula, big moment in movie
history. I'm not saying Dracula is the moral equivalent of his actions.
I mean, the character maybe. He did kill all those guys. But not for real like Andrew Jackson did. Didn't do the Trail of Tears.
But I think in terms of, like, no one is watching the 1930s Dracula.
Other than, like, old people.
Obviously.
And cinephiles.
Unless your friends are like, wouldn't it be funny if we watched the original Dracula? Which, like, what is that, like 6 people who are doing that? So, but in terms of its influence on Halloween, I think it can't be understated. It might be the most
I think the question is, I'm leaning towards yes. That we got to put a Universal monster on here, a classic one.
I feel like the only other one that could be there is Frankenstein.
It could be Frankenstein.
But
okay, hold on. This is the real meat of the question. What is more associated with Halloween? Frankenstein or Dracula? Which
I don't know that Frankenstein is more associated with Halloween. I think it's that he's only really brought up around Halloween. And it's not because he's more associated with the holiday, it's just that he's got less motion.
You think Frankenstein got less motion than Dracula?
Who's the main character of Hotel Transylvania?
Dracula.
Right. And did anyone go, it should have been Frankenstein?
How many times?
He's the Halloween guy.
But
no one thought that.
What movie are we remaking every year, bro? Frankenstein. We got like 3 more coming out in the next calendar year.
We saw Nosferatu last year.
That's true. But that's Nosferatu. That's not Dracula.
Okay. Sure. It's the same guy.
It's the same guy.
And you know what? You know who wasn't popular enough to get into a major legal dispute and have all their movies canceled forever?
Frankenstein.
There is no Frankenstein. There is a Nosferatu.
True.
Because I think he just is more, not just like even in Halloween, but just in general, he's a bigger, more influential guy.
All right. Before we decide for certain, I'm gonna throw a couple things out there. All right.
Here's the comparison.
Okay.
Frankenstein is Rudolph. Big player.
Right.
Big Christmas guy.
Whole song.
Only comes up during
Iconic
Christmas,
image.
Though. Santa Claus,
Exists,
the guy.
Exists beyond.
But he's a reoccurring villain in Teen Titans Go.
And that's the real metric of success.
But the point, like, people bring him up outside of the holiday.
Right.
Whereas, like, Rudolph, he's only really...
Yeah, you're only doing Rudolph.
You might mention Rudolph, like, you know, if there's, like, a weird kid at school, you're like, that kid's the Rudolph of the school. We bully that one.
Right.
But, like, you know... Anyway, what?
All right, let me throw out a couple other ones. Trick or Treat from 2007.
Ooh, wait.
The most Halloween of all of these, just not popular enough.
Wait, I have another potential.
All right, hold on.
Potential pick here, though.
We talked about Scream.
I didn't even think about this one.
Saw. Any of the Saws.
What?
Terrifier. That's a really big recent one.
What?
People love that freaking clown.
That guy's just it, but worse.
Cabin in the Woods.
Who?
It. No.
What are you talking
No to It.
What are you talking about?
E.T.
What? How's that Halloween?
It's got a lot of Halloween in it, man.
Halloween happens, but it's not like the plot.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
What are you saying right now?
Haunted Mansion.
You're missing one.
Paranorman.
There's one that you're missing, and when I say it, you're gonna be like, "How is this not on the list?"
Okay, Scooby-Doo.
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
All right, what do you got?
Sleepy Hollow.
I had that on there. I said it twice. You just ignored
Oh,
me.
you didn't say
I
that.
said the Johnny Depp Sleepy Hollow
I'm
movie.
not talking about Johnny Depp. I'm talking about the Disney animated.
He's talking about the
one.
Adventures of Ichabod and Mr.
Goober.
Toad.
Yes.
Is Sleepy Hollow the Christmas Carol of Halloween
Kind.
in terms of the story?
You know, I think so.
I think it is too.
Like the book is.
The book is.
But is there a successful adaptation?
I don't
of it?
think the Disney one is cute. It's
the
fun.
closest we've got.
I don't think we have a definitive Sleepy Hollow adaptation. In the same way we have a definitive Christmas Carol adaptation.
We have some big ones, but I don't think there's like one that everyone looks to.
I think you're right, but I think we've gotten closer with the Christmas Carol
Yeah,
than we
like
have with Sleepy Hollow.
We're like a couple more tries away.
The Johnny Depp Sleepy Hollow movie is not good. And it's weird and it's not even really related to the
There
book.
is a Johnny Depp Christmas Carol too.
And it's on the way. It's coming. They're working on it. Whether you like it or not, it'll be in theaters next
Who
year.
was in the Disney animated one?
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
That one is probably the most...
It's probably closest we've got to a direct adaptation of the
Well,
book.
as modern audiences would probably point to that because it's so recent. And because it's so weird and like memorable, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's the George C. Scott one from the 80s. There's the Muppet Christmas Carol, which is the best one.
That one is famously your favorite.
That's famously my favorite, but that's also got Muppets in it. So like, how really close can
little-
that be?
We're a little foreign derivatives.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I think you're right. I think it's got to be Dracula.
Yeah.
We got to
As
put
much
the
as-
Universal monsters on
Yeah.
there.
As much as I want to make a case for like literally anything else.
No, like none of the except for the original Halloween, none of these are like my movies.
Yeah.
I would not claim these. But like
Out of the what was the second
it's
one? we put on
bigger
there?
than me.
What do we what is it? What are we at right now? What's the total?
We're at Halloween from 1978, A Nightmare Before Christmas,
Mhm.
Hocus Pocus, and Dracula.
Yeah. I wouldn't really say that any of these are my movies either, but I will say Nosferatu, the recent one, is my favorite of all of these, and it's like, to me, that's basically Dracula. So like, I think that's probably the closest I have to like my movie on there. I've never been a big slasher
We
guy.
love vampire stuff though. Sinners
Yeah.
we loved. That's another
Sinners
recent
is really
vampire.
good. Not a Halloween movie, but
But
really
like
good.
vampire.
Vampires are great villains.
Yeah.
You can do so much with vampires.
Yeah. This is like, and what we're talking about with Mount Rushmore is like when people, when we have a president, a new president, we look at Mount Rushmore as like, these are the best presidents, even though 1 to 2 of them sucked. But we look at those and we're like, this is where I want to end up.
Yeah.
I want to do such a good job on, I ended up here.
I'm on that.
Like people making a Halloween movie, they are looking at these 4. And honestly, I think these are the 4 you would look at.
Yeah.
In terms of like, I want to make an iconic Halloween movie.
Like
that
I
is
said,
synonymous with
as
Halloween.
much as like Dracula from the 30s being on there is like kind of lame. It's like
it's necessary.
It's gotta be there.
Yeah,
it's
like that's
the bedrock.
That's the homework.
That is the George Washington. It's not the Andrew Jackson. That's the George Washington.
No, I'd say Hocus Pocus is Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus is definitely Andrew Jackson. It's like, who cares?
Halloween 78 is Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess that leaves Nightmare Before Christmas is Roosevelt.
Why is Andrew Jackson on there? Why is he up there? Is he up there?
I mean,
did I make that up?
do we not know who's on Mount Rushmore?
It's Thomas Jefferson or it's Andrew Jackson.
Do you want to double check? And then we'll just pretend.
Have we been saying the wrong guy?
If we've say the wrong guy, then we'll just say it's a bit.
Who all's on there?
I've never been to Mount Rushmore.
Okay, Andrew Jackson's not there. I was thinking Thomas Jefferson.
Okay.
Thomas Jefferson is the Andrew Jackson.
So it's Jefferson, Lincoln, Washington, and Roosevelt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lincoln, Roosevelt, Jefferson, and Washington.
Okay. The Andrew Jackson thing was a bit, and so is this.
He's on the $20 bill. That's why I was confused.
You should
like, why is he on the $20 bill? Also weird. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, we tried to change it, and they chose not to.
We changed it back immediately. But yeah, so then I feel like Hocus Pocus is Thomas Jefferson.
No, I think Dracula's Jefferson. Well, no, Washington is Dracula.
Yeah, and what?
Lincoln's Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson is Hocus Pocus. Right.
What was the other one?
And then Roosevelt is Nightmare Before Christmas.
I think Jefferson is Nightmare.
Do we switch those? I think you're right. I think we switch them. Because Hocus Pocus is like the new kid on the block, and Roosevelt's the most recent one of those. Yeah,
exactly.
4. Roosevelt was also an insane person.
Yeah, but like whereas Washington like defined being a president, and Dracula defined.
I mean, like
the scary monster.
That's the horror movie.
Jefferson follows up Washington, and he also adds more to defining the holiday.
Any spooky,
Nightmare Before
gothic, atmospheric, even remotely scary movie owes something
to Dracula. Something in it happened in Dracula first.
Yeah. All right. I think that's the Mount Rushmore. Happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you for joining us on today's episode. We'll be back whenever we're back with more show, more potting, more fun discussions. I have to turn in homework. It's due in 1 hour and 20 minutes. Goodbye.
Bye.